Chris is dressed in a nice collared shirt. I didn't see. Are we doing jeans or slacks today, Chris?
Dickies.
Yeah. Can you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why couldn't you?
Well, so he's wearing the Dickies. Nice, like I said, nice collared shirt. So that must mean, again, corporate's in town.
See, what is good about working in the mornings is I'm usually gone by the time
they get here.
Things start to get started. So I'm just like, I'm probably not even going to be needed. And then I told you yesterday, you're probably going to be wanting to. They said that they're going to want to be talking to you. I'm like, okay, great.
What do they want to talk about? Hey, how's it going?
I think there needs to be more push on the morning show. Need to be given a lot more. Just personally from my seat.
You mean like more investment,
yes.
More staff?
Correct.
Yeah, you're kind of, speaking of networking, so you're kind of our advocate today. I think we need one more. I've said that before. I think we need one more set of hands on this show. I do. I think we need, because does afternoons still have 4 people, or is it down to 3? Counting Whitey and Kyle. It's Whitey, Kyle, Jay. Isn't there somebody else in there or no?
No.
Oh, okay. So every show has 3.
Yes.
And we need one more. We need 4.
Well, when I first started, I came on as a board operator.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was a phone screener.
Uh-huh.
Then there was a producer. Then there was an update person. Then there was a show. There'd be like 6 hosts. Then there'd be 6 to 7 people on a show.
At one point on Don Geronimo's show, it was me, Don, Jody Bacon. No, me, Don. I was after Jody. Me, Don, Little Joe Pittman, Drew Hoffer, Craig the intern, but he was paid. What was her name? Lady G. Whatever. There was a girl there. There was somebody else. Damn it. Well, and then for a while, Phantom came in. Phantom was after me too. But I know there was at one point, because I've said it before, there were 7 people counting hosts on the morning show, whereas we have 3. That's fine. You make it work. But
so we have 9 for 12 hours of content.
Yeah, we almost have exactly. We have 2 more people for 12 hours than we did for the 4-hour morning show. Now, don't get me wrong. That was a pretty complicated program. But I would say that I think having I mean, you're technically the producer, but you got too much stuff going on. I think actually having another set of hands, or God, can you imagine if Little Joe or Jody were a part of this show? Not from a personality standpoint, from a booking standpoint.
Yes.
Dear goodness gracious. But I mean, you do what you do. We're happy. We're just happy to be here in the sandbox. While and this is real. While look, radio is a cutthroat business. And during COVID, our company didn't lay off. I don't believe they laid off a single person, at least due to COVID. And the fact that we've been able to be stable, they've added 2 more local shows. And we get to, I got to be honest, we bitch all the time. By we, I mean me, just in general, because everybody grumbles. But being honest, they really leave us alone for the most part in the mornings. They don't really mess with us at all. It's more, and that's from Jose, our PD, all the way up. They're just, hey, do your thing. You're doing great. Keep it up. You know what you're doing. Hey, here's this note, or do you want to do this promotion or whatever? But we're not having air checks, if you will. We're not having content conversations. And it's honestly from that perspective. I mean, I've been here it'll be 25 years next year, but this is probably my favorite stretch where it's like team's good. There's a lot of content, and they kind of leave us alone. They just, and you never want to say the words, in this business because I'm a big jinx guy. So write it down. But I also probably over the last 3 years is the first time I've ever in my entire career felt stable in this job. Like job security, everything's cool and calm. Now, of course, tomorrow we'll flip to Spanish or something, but yeah. So Jason is gone, and I talked to him yesterday evening. I called him, and it was weird because it didn't go to voicemail, and I figured he was on the plane. So I called him and it rang, but he didn't pick up. Thought, oh, well, maybe it rang. You know, sometimes you get weird connection on the
especially his phone.
Yeah. It's yeah. So, anyways, I get a call. Let me see here. I get a call back from him last night. It was at I missed a couple calls there. Let's see. 6:42. We talked for 11 minutes. So 6:42. I'm thinking, oh, okay, you probably, first night in New York. It's 9:42 there, but you're nowhere near ready for bed.
I'm going to Times Square.
Exactly. And I was talking to him because I was a little unclear. I know we'd spoken about it, and for some reason in my head, I was like, is he going to try to do the show from out there one of these days? I couldn't quite remember, and I just assumed he'd be off tomorrow or today and tomorrow, which he will be off today and tomorrow. He'll be back Thursday. So that was what the conversation is supposed to be about. And so he calls, hey, what's up? And I say, yeah, cool. How's New York? He goes, I'm in Sacramento. What are you talking about? You're in Sacramento. It's 6:42. I probably didn't say 6:42, but I probably said it's almost 7 o'clock. What are you doing here? And I won't look, it's his story to tell. I won't, I don't know what he does, but apparently there was a mix up at the gate. And Jason being Jason was like, well, it was, partly their fault, partly my fault. And then when he told me the story,
my fault. I didn't get there 3 hours early and look at my phone to see exactly what the updates were.
So did you talk to him?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that seems like the type of thing that Jason would say, like, oh, it's kind of on me because
honestly, you're not. You're very close. I honestly thought you talked to him. Yeah, he told me the story, and at the end of it, I was like, none of that is your fault at all. What are you talking about? What? But the gist of it is because they assumed he hadn't checked in time, and I guess there was a lot of standby on the plane. They filled his seat despite the fact that he was there like literally 2 hours early.
Isn't that such a fun thing now where they could just sell more seats than they have?
Let me tell you.
Could you imagine that for a concert?
Imagine that for anything. It's the dumbest thing. It's like, bro, look, here's what the rule should be. I paid for the seat. Whether I'm on or off the plane, that's my seat. End of story. If you want to charge me what I paid, which, by the way, you've already charged me because I did not show up or cancel, I have to wear that. That's fair. If I buy a seat on a plane and I don't make the plane, and you charge me, $400, whatever the fare is, that's on me. I gotta wear it. That's fine. But you charge me, and then you're just like, nah, I don't see him. I don't see him. Here, Chris, we're going to sell this to you. And, there you are. Sorry, dude. We sold your seat. And you can leave in 7 hours. Like, how stupid is that? That's another part of my platform when I never run for president. We got Super Bowl Sunday, moving Saturday, day off, this, that, whatever, all the stuff, teach a credit class in school, blah, blah, blah. That's instantly against the law. Like all the airplane, you can't do that. You can't resell a seat. If that means that 20 people don't show up and don't make the flight, cool. You still get the revenue. But, and by the way, you still get the revenue, and that's 20 less seats you have to turn down. That's 20 less seats that your flight attendants have to service. The plane's probably, 3,000-4,000 pounds lighter, easier fuel economy. I wonder if we're ever going to have electric jets, by the way. Think we'll ever have that, like airlines that are like electric. Like cars. Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I don't either. I was just thinking they use fuel. Cars use fuel. Probably hard to refill in the air.
Or maybe it's easier.
Maybe it's easier. Yeah, maybe they make the planes, and the outside of the planes are all them refractors, the solar panels. And then when you're flying, of course, night flight would be a little weird, but daytime flying and just recharging while you go. I don't understand the science. So these are probably dumb questions to somebody that knows the science. I also wonder this too, like why I drive an electric car. Why isn't the whole top of the car one of them solar panels? Why is there not like a big giant solar panel for a roof? And then while you're driving, the car can charge a little bit from the solar.
Which exactly, as you know, from the movie Race the Sun, that is exactly what they did when they had the kids with the solar car racing each other.
Yeah, I remember that movie. It was great.
Halle Berry.
Ooh. Swordfish. Halle Berry. Never forget it.
I'm trying to
great movie.
The other Belushi.
Jim Belushi.
Casey Affleck. It's a who's who.
I mean, really, that is a ensemble cast right there. So thoughts to Jason, who, dude, again, I'm not Karen-y. In fact, I'm actually terrified of Karening. But I got to tell you, dude, I would have kept my cool. Like, I'm never going to berate somebody. Ever, ever, ever. That's their job. They're doing their best, whatever. But there'd be a phone call later.
Yeah.
And
the bad thing is everyone you talk to, it's literally just their job to just try and get you not mad and not ask for anything.
That's exactly
right. I used to do that job for a carrier. And basically what we were told was like, just say you're sorry and get them not to ask for anything.
Well,
and they say, do not offer anything unless they ask for it.
Unless they ask. No, makes sense. And I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like, no, it's time to, like, where's the points? Give me the points. 50,000 points should do it. Ugh. All right, we'll take a break. So no Jason today, but Chris is here. He's all dressed up for the occasion. What do we have? We have Sean Salisbury at 8. It's Overreaction Tuesday as well. Week 2 is in the books. We've got Media Day for the Sacramento Kings less than 2 weeks away. There's actually some... I actually legitimately, usually I just feel safer out. I'm just being honest here. I write it out because we have to. So that way, speaking of bosses, we can always say we talk a little baseball. So I struggle with it sometimes. I didn't today, by the way, though. There's 2 questions in there that caught my eye. I want to ask you guys. We got audio recaps and more. So sit back, relax. It's a full Tuesday, Jason-less Tuesday. Chris and myself right here in Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or team is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinosa, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Fight card subject to change.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Now, Deebo Samuel is going to miss likely a couple of weeks, according to Kyle Shanahan. due to a calf strain. So that means no Debo and no Christian McCaffrey.
Great. Yeah. Debo Samuel out at least 2 weeks with a calf strain. That was Adam Schefter. I mean, look, the copium I'm eating right now and sipping like a nice warm soup on a fall day is just please get him out of the way now. Just get him out of the way. CMC's hurt. Cool. Get it out of the way. Get him 100%. Debo's hurt. Fine. Get it out of the way right now. Just get him out of the way. You've got the Rams, Patriots, and Cardinals, 2 of which are at home. Rams on the road. The Rams are as if not more banged up than the Niners. Get it out of the way right now. Then you go at Seahawks, home Chiefs, home Cowboys, at Bucks, home Seahawks, at Packers, at Bills before you get to the Bears December 8th. So you've got to look, not every game in that stretch is the same as the other, obviously, but you've got a 7-game stretch from October 10th through December 1st when they're in Buffalo. You've got a 7-game stretch where you're playing the defending world champions. You're playing a team that is very much looking like they could challenge those defending world champions in the AFC and the Bills. That Packers game's interesting because Jordan Love very well could be back by then. You also have 2 divisional games against the team that likely will be the closest to challenging you for the NFC West. Oh, and by the way, you have Baker Mayfield's Buccaneers, the Cowboys. That's a tough stretch. Get them out of the way right now. Get everybody healthy and let everybody stay healthy through the playoffs. If you told me that's what was going to happen, I'll tell you right now, I would want, if you told me that everyone, all these guys are going to be out, all the injuries, the major ones, until October 10th. But that meant that not only did you lose the Vikings, you're going to lose the Rams, the Patriots, and the Cardinals. You're going to start out 1-4. Give it to me. Absolutely. I will take that in a heartbeat if that means everyone's healthy the rest of the way. That being said, just because everybody comes back doesn't mean other people won't get injured. The Niners certainly not welcoming the news. Losing Debo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk now really has to step up. And then some. We'll talk quite a bit about that. Number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
3 receivers and Barkley in the backfield. Atlanta going to bring 4 this time. Try to get there. Hurts his hit as he throws. Bates talking. Jesse Bates interception. Yeah. With 32 seconds left, Jesse Bates comes up with the interception, and Atlanta, in the thick of the night, has stolen one from the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, just want to take you back here just because it's our pet peeve on the show. Listen to the exact part about the interception call here. This is on the Atlanta Falcons radio network.
I'm trying to get there. Hurts his hit as he throws. Bates talking. Jesse Bates.
Okay, I don't get it. How does nobody sit this guy down? Sir, we get you're a Falcons fan. We love the homerism. That's what color commentators do. We get the excitement, the passion. We don't want you to lose that. But you understand that people are listening in their cars. They have no idea what just happened, and you're talking over the gentleman whose job it is to describe the picture. What are they doing? And imagine this. Imagine if somebody was painting, like if you were watching Bob Ross and the Joy of Painting, and he's doing the happy little trees and the blue sky and beat the devil out of the brush when you clean it, all that stuff, right? And he's in the middle of doing puffy clouds, and all of a sudden some dude comes in with a crayon, just like, ah, and then leaves.
Actually, I would watch that.
I know, right? Just see if Bob ever loses it. Yeah. I want to find it. Sorry guys. I'm trying to find out who the hell Wes Durham is the play-by-play voice I'm trying to find out. Games are called by Wes Durham and Dave Archer. Let's see. What position did Dave Archer play?
Offensive line.
I'm going to go with offensive line. We'll see. David Archer. Oh, you know what? How did I not? Oh, come on. Is this the same guy? It is, isn't it? Crime. David Archer is a freaking quarterback. A really good college quarterback, too, by the way. Also, former member of the Sacramento Surge.
Really? He's teammates with Bill Goldberg?
He might have been. He has been
Surge and the Gold Miners.
Yeah, Sacramento connections. He's actually,
I actually think he didn't do a bad job.
Yeah, I actually think he did great. You know what? We are a Dave Archer hive here. Yeah, he's been doing it for this is his 20th year now. Okay, look, but love you. Shout out. Please.
How could we totally forget that he was a World Bowl MVP when the Surge beat the Orlando Thunder?
World Bowl too. I mean, and then finishing out his career with the Edmonton Eskimos. Yeah. Actually, he went from the Surge to the Eagles and back to the Gold Miners. Played 3 years.
You know what? I love Sacramento more than the NFL.
That's a great point right there. That's a great point. All right, cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
Pretty soon after the play that he got hurt on, I guess would be the way to say it. Ran across the field, did a really nice job, and then was limping a little bit, and he doesn't usually limp for too long. Sometimes he gets stepped on and you limp for a minute and walk one off. But we'll see what that is. Obviously, a huge part of our team and a huge part of our offense. So we'll see what that looks like.
Puka Nacua was already going to be out for a minute. Now Cooper Kupp walking around in a walking boot. And the Rams get to welcome in San Francisco after getting blitzed by Arizona 41-10. We're a long way from the 26-20 overtime loss in Detroit, where things looked really promising for the Rams. They've got the Niners, then they go to Chicago, Green Bay, then they get a bye week. Perhaps bad news for the Raiders. We'll see. But coming off that bye week, they host Las Vegas down in LA, which of course will be a home game for the Raiders for the most part. Little better turnout for the Rams and the Chargers, but still perhaps bad news for the Raiders, because I would imagine after that bye week, you're going to get one, if not both those guys back just in time to face them. So bad news for the Rams. As much as the Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey thing hurts the Niners, you could probably make a decent argument Kupp and Nacua hurt the Rams a little bit more, just because they don't have that well of talent waiting that the Rams do. We'll take a break, or the Niners do. When we come back, we've got audio from last night in a game. I'm going to be real honest here, guys. I'm going to be really honest. I went outside to take a phone call with this game pretty much wrapped up and the Eagles winning. And then I got off the call. It was a long phone call. I got off the call, went and did some stuff, went to bed. I found out about the score when I got up this morning. Went, wait, hold on, what? Wait, what? And then I went back. It was about 4 a.m., and I watched the last half of the fourth quarter. And Nick Sirianni's got a little explaining to do. But we'll run you through all of that. A very surprising result in Philadelphia. And coming up at 7 a.m., everybody, we're going to talk a little bit. 2 weeks is probably not enough time to form a narrative, but we've already had some pretty big upsets and near upsets just in these 2 weeks alone. We're going to talk about those at 7. Coming up next, though, we'll recap Eagles-Falcons.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. so we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered FlexSteel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Harmony.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota.
Let's go!
Enjoy fall to the fullest with amazing MPG and performance. Fill up less and explore more in a new Toyota. Choose between 16 hybrid and electrified Toyota models, more than any other brand, and rack up the miles with Toyota's class-leading fuel efficiency and reliability. Put more fun in every mile this fall.
Grab the keys, come on, let's go.
Toyota. Let's go places.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Checked in with old friend Uriah Faber yesterday on the phone. He's doing well. He's opening up a, gosh, he is into everything, dude. He really is. He's opening up a new I think it's hair. I'm guessing it's Hammer and Nails Grooming Shop for Guys.
Oh, where's that at?
That's going to be on Fair Oaks Boulevard in Sacramento. So I'm guessing up by Arden.
Oh, I just signed up for them.
You did? Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
There?
Mm-hmm.
That's his spot. They're
hey, any friend discounts?
Well, I'll send you the. He texted me their grand opening thing.
It's on the 5th, right?
I don't know. Where is it? Come on. Why am I getting a greeting card? Okay. No, on the 3rd. No, this is the
special.
Special. Yeah, Garibaldi's going to be there. That's cool. He'll do something cool. He always does. Dude's into everything. Anyways, we were talking as we get into these highlights. We were talking, and I guess he heard I was trying to eat better. And so we got to what is this? Got to bring him on just to do some men's health stuff. That'd be because he's super,
He is.
This guy is, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, he's never eaten McDonald's, that type of thing. And
0.6% fat.
It's for real, dude. For real. And we talk about fasting and stuff like that. Like, I will never. I think it was before the Jose Aldo fight, and I remember it was the night before the weigh-in, which is the day before the fight, and I was over at his house for something. I forget, something with the station. I'm sure I was doing something, and I never will forget, dude. One of his trainers comes in and goes, "All right, dude, it's time." And Faber goes over to the dinner table, and when you're fighting at 135 and then later 145, anyway, but still, there's a lot of cutting going on, weight cutting. And he sits down. I'm like, oh, it's dinner time. Well, I wonder what, maybe some chicken breast, maybe some veggies, something healthy. I'll never forget. And the dude sits down next to him, gives Uriah like a handful of, I want to say it was just like vitamins and supplements. And the dude was taking spoonfuls. I think he got 10 spoonfuls out of 10 spoonfuls of ice water. That was his dinner. 10, and he had to it was really, the way they did it was very purposeful. Like, it was one spoonful and then wait 30 seconds, another spoonful. The whole process took like 20 minutes.
I hate that.
There is probably nothing I hate more in the fight sports than the weight cut, the process of the weight cut, and the unfairness. Like, bro, you're fighting at 135. Cool. Not you walk in at 151, but you hit the scale the day before at 135. I've always said, have the weigh-in, and well, there's a reason they don't do this, but have the weigh-in an hour before the fight. Have the weigh-in an hour before the fight. You're still going to be able to gain some stuff back. They won't do that because then the fighters are going to, there needs to be a complete overhaul. Plus, you have to cancel a fight day of. Well, have their purse be affected like it is right now. It is incredibly dangerous. You've seen fighters pass out all over the place because of it. It's not good for your body.
You see weigh-ins, and it's just like, this person is unhealthy.
Incredibly unhealthy. And then they have to go fight, a fight the next day. So anyways, we started talking about all this. And I said, when do we get to the part where it's fun to work out? Because I'll say after a month now, it's been a month. I'll say this. The first few days after my first few workouts, like, I was having trouble getting down the stairs, legitimately holding onto the rail because my legs were jello, just screwed. That's not the case anymore. Energy uptick? Yeah, I think so. Productivity? Sure, no problem. All that. But I'm talking about the people that can't wait to get to the gym, man. That is my release. That is my stress reducer. Couple hours in the gym, go lift weights for an hour, hour and a half, then hit the spa, the steam room, the this, the that. I work out at home. That's part of the issue, I'm sure. But I'm still going like, oh, God, okay. I got to do it. And I do it. But I'm certainly not looking forward to it. It is not exciting to me. It is not, it is nowhere near the highlight of my day. And is that just a personality thing? Or do you have to hit a certain point where someone's like, wow, you have a muscle. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, I want bigger muscle. And then does that? I don't know. Have you ever been in a point in your life ever, Chris, ever, where at any age where you've been like, dude, I can't wait to work out?
No.
Who are these people?
And usually when I'm doing it, I'm like, this sucks. I hate it. I hate
sucks.
it. But then like there's 15 minutes afterwards. You're like, okay, I feel pretty good. You know what? I'm glad that I did that.
Yes.
And so now you're like telling yourself while you're like on the bike or whatever, like, all right, just 40 more minutes of this because you're going to feel better afterwards.
And the only reason you feel better afterwards is because you did it and you're proud of yourself. But I'm not sitting there afterward like last night. This is no joke. This is a particularly tough one. And, you do like a cool down with stretches and whatever after the workout part. And then, it's a tonal. So the video ends, you're done. And I'm sitting there on my back, just dripping sweat, trying to catch my breath, and I'm sitting there thinking like, this is not, I'm not enjoying, this is not fun. It might be productive. There might be good results or whatever. It's not fun. I want to be one of those people that like lives to work out. I really do. Is there a pill? I know there's a needle, but is there a pill I can take that makes you want to work out?
Or there's a pill that just like knocks you out, like doesn't knock you out, but like you don't have to experience it. Like
right.
You take it, you walk into the gym, and then you walk out and you're just like, oh, I guess I finished that workout.
Where your brain goes
yes.
away? Or maybe a pill where you can just get a lot of the results without actually,
even better.
Oh, that's Ozempic, apparently. Never mind. They already have it. I saw a study today that says Ozempic was shown to have it was something about like helping to prevent Alzheimer's. I'm like, are you serious? I don't want to jinx anything for anyone taking it, but don't you just get the feeling that something's going to happen with the Ozempic people?
Yeah.
I do too. Like it's going to, in 5 years, they're all going to start like there's going to be a tree that grows out of their cheek or something. I don't know. Something weird, man.
Do you have a tree coming out of your cheek?
Right.
Or are you taking Ozempic?
Give us a call. It's going to be Ozempic and mesothelioma people. That's the commercial that runs all the freaking time. Let's get to a little bit of highlight here. How about we start with, how about a touchdown pass to Devontae Smith?
Barkley moving to the left. Back goes Hurts. He looks, he fires. It is complete for a touchdown to Devontae Smith. 9 yards deep.
All right. Jalen Hurts also with the little tush push now that Jason Kelsey's gone still works.
Hurts sneaks. They push. And he should be in. He is in. Touchdown, Jalen Hurts. Can they go for two and make it right here? Down at the 2-yard line. Hurts takes it. Gives it to Barkley. He dives. He pushes. And I don't know. They haven't given the call yet.
The ruling on the field is touchdown.
Yes. 2 extra points.
I read somewhere that I think the average yards is it like 2.6 for the tush push. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, well, what if they just did that for every play? It'd be the most boring form of football ever. But what if just every play? They say 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Isn't that kind of 3 yards in a cloud of dust? Maybe occasionally the play action pass. Either way, Atlanta was not done, though. 18-15. And then Kirk Cousins went to London.
Takes the snap. Kirk looks, sails it. Drake there. Caught. Touchdown, Atlanta. Drake London for the first time in 14 games. He stands in the end zone. And the Falcons have tied the game with 34 seconds.
34 seconds. Philly still had a chance to get down the field. All you need is a field goal. 22-21. They're just down by 1. And Jalen Hurts went to work.
Three receivers and Barkley in the backfield. Atlanta going to bring 4 this time. Try to get there. Hurts is hit as he throws. Bates
Pick it off,
Jesse
Bates,
interception.
Yeah.
Archer.
Time. Try to get there. Hurts is hit as he throws. Bates
Pick it off, Jesse
Bates interception.
Yeah.
It's just so ridiculous. Dude, you're not a fan. You're a broadcaster. Shut your face. Shut your face and let the play happen. In case you didn't know what happened there and you didn't see it, that was a Jesse Bates interception. The Falcons go into Philly and beat them. 22-21 is your final. And yet another upset in the NFL, which we will talk about at the top of the hour. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, safe or out, we've got a divisional race. I think we can put the lid on if it wasn't already. And something with hitting and pitching that caught my eye yesterday that I'm not sure how I feel about. We'll get to that safe or out next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Silverado savings spectacular now at Maida Chevy with $13,000 off MSRP. Every new Silverado half-ton LTZ in stock after rebates. $12,500 off every Silverado half-ton High Country after rebate. And $11,000 off all new Silverado half-ton RSTs exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Whatever Silverado you choose, you'll save thousands at Maida Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing and leasing on other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/30/24.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
1 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft in a breach or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleanse are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
The word for has been used in golf for centuries, and its origins can be traced to the Middle Ages. According to historians, the word for is derived from the Old English word meaning before or in front of. In those days, the term was used to warn people of incoming arrows during archery practice. Another theory suggests that for has military connections. During the 19th century, artillery officers would yell for to warn their troops of incoming shells. This practice may have carried over to golf. The most popular theory, however, is that for has Scottish roots. In Scotland, forecaddy was used to describe a person who walked ahead of the golfers to spot where their ball landed. The forecaddy would then yell for to warn the golfers if their ball was heading towards another golfer or a spectator. Today, for is used to warn golfers or spectators of an errant shot. Whether it's derived from the Middle Ages, military practice, or Scottish roots, for has become an integral part of the game of golf, and now you know why. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's
got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at SacktownSports.com. Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Sean Salisbury at 8 o'clock. Always fun to be with him. No Jason today. He is in New York for the broadcast meetings. He'll be back day after tomorrow. In the meantime, Christopher Loud was nice enough to dress up for me today. Appreciate that. A little safe or out for you. Question 1.
The Dodgers are up 4 games on the Padres with 10 left. Safe or out? The divisional race is over.
Yeah, it's over. And you could argue it was over at the beginning of the season. There's no surprise the LA Dodgers are going to win the NL West. But the Padres, and to an extent, the Diamondbacks made it interesting. Remember, the Diamondbacks are the defending NL champions. That's kind of a big deal. Don't discount them like everybody did last year. But going into the wild card, the 2 of the 3 wild cards are going to come from the NL West, and then you have the Mets right now in the 3rd spot with the Braves just 1 game back of them. So the divisional races are all but done. But the wild card races, the Tigers are just 1.5 out of the playoffs. The Mariners 2 back after getting a little bit of surge after changing managers kind of midway. So you never know how that's going to work out. But yeah, they ain't catching the Dodgers, and really the only one that you could argue remaining as far as a pennant race, if you will, as far as a race in the division, is the Orioles, 3 back of the Yankees, and they still have a series with each other. That's going to be a big, big series. But the NL West is over. Number 2, please.
There are literally 2 guys who qualify that are hitting over 300 in the National League. Safe or out? This sucks.
Safe. I looked at that yesterday. There are 2 in the National League. There are 2 players now, and I say that qualified because I didn't look, but I'm sure there's like 19 guys that are hitting above 300 that have like 8 at bats or something. But what is going on? I mean, I know what's going on, and I'm not trying to get into a crazy long conversation about analytics and this and that, whatever. But dude, in all of baseball, counting the AL, by the way, in all of baseball, there are 8. There are 8 guys hitting above 300, including Oakland Athletic Brent Rooker. Last year, there were 9. The year before, there were 11. See if you can sense a trend here. The year before that, there were 15. Let's just go back real quick to, I don't know, let's pick a year between 2002 and now, Chris. Well, really 2002 and 2019.
2014.
2014, regular season, there were 16 players that hit 300 or above. By the way, including Adam Eaton. I don't know, just randomly with the Chicago White Sox. And if you go back, I can go back to 2002 here. In 2002, there were 35 players that hit 300 or above. And oh, by the way, Todd Walker, who was playing for the Reds at the time, hit 299, was almost there. Yeah, it would be nice to see more hits. That would be neat. By the way, Barry Bonds led all batters that year, hitting 370 with 46 home runs and 110 RBI and 198 walks.
That's stupid.
That is just incredibly stupid. This year, Bobby Witt will lead all batters at 332. He'll win the AL batting title Luis Arias once again gets another batting title with San Diego / Miami. All right, number 3, please.
There will be no 20-game winners in baseball this year. Safe or out. This also sucks.
Safe. Chris Sale is leading the majors with 17 wins, followed by 3 guys at 16. There will be no 20-game winners, and it's just weird. You're talking about 2 major benchmarks, and one barely gets hit, the other doesn't. Now, look, throwing out the COVID season. Last year, Spencer Strider had 20. Kyle Wright had 21 in 2022, and then Julio Urias had 20 the year before that. There were 3 consecutive years where there was not a 20-game winner in the National League, 17, 18, 19. But with the exception of 2017, where the high was 18 for both leagues, both Blake Snell and Justin Verlander each won 21 games the 2 years following that. And you just go through the years, the highs for wins in each league, 23, 24, 25. Bob Welch, you might remember the A's back in 1990 won 27 games. And, of course, Denny McClain somewhere in here, I want to say in the 70s with 31 in 1968, excuse me. Look, baseball is a statistical game. There are stat benchmarks, 40 home runs, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases nowadays, I guess, 200 hits, batting 300, winning 20 games, 200 strikeouts, 300 strikeouts. Now you have two guys hitting 300. That's where we're at, Chris.
I don't know. With the wins, it's such a weird stat to begin with because it's really a team stat, and it's not just a pitcher stat.
You're 100% right.
Like, how many wins could Matt Cain have been on if he was on some of those bad Giants teams where he's giving up no runs through 8, and then they can't help him out?
You cannot throw a pitch. Not throw a pitch and take a loss. But you have to pitch 5 innings for a win.
If you start.
If you start. Which, that's another thing I'd like to see them. You know what? You get the win. You get the win just like a loss. If you're the starter in the first inning, if you're the opener, I should say, and you go 1 inning, team goes up 3-0, leads wire to wire, you're the winner. You win. We do that. Who's arguing that? If you're going to change the game and the way pitchers are, where complete game shutouts are damn near unheard of now, and everyone's protected, even though everyone's arm is falling off anyways. If you're going to do it, God, they don't even list, at least on ESPN, they don't even list complete games anymore. Now they just go with quality starts, which is what, 6 innings, 2 earned or less, 3 earned or less? I don't know, dude. Do something about it. This is dumb. I'll tell you this much. What's more impressive to me than 20 wins is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitchers in the major leagues that have a whip of 1 or less. They're all starters as well. Chris Sale, Bryce Miller, Bailey Ober, Zach Wheeler, former Giant, Tarek Skubal, and Logan Gilbert of the Seattle Mariners. And that, by the way, Logan, this is an example, to your point, Chris, of why wins are so stupid. So Logan Gilbert of the Seattle Mariners has started 30 games, which is right up there with the leaders. He has a league-leading whip of 0.89. If you don't know what whip is, it's walks and hits per innings pitched. If you pitch 9 innings and you have a combined 1 walk or hit, so for example, you pitch 9 innings, you give up 9 runners, 9 walks, hits combined, your whip is 1. You give up an average of 1 walk and or a hit. That is insane. Think about it. You can go through any baseball stat you want. One of the most accurate, commonly used stats, if not the most accurate, is whip. If you see a guy whose whip is 1 or below, he's a good pitcher. This fool is 7-11. 7-11, and his whip leads the majors at 0.89. The combined records of the next 3 guys that are under 1 is 43 and 18. And this dude is 7-11. That's insane. And that's where numbers can lie to you. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's take a look, everybody, at the first 2 weeks of the season. Let's take a look at this insane amount of upsets we're seeing. And yes, Raider fan, you're going to be featured prominently in this one as well. Why is this going on? We'll do it next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Kern in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It's going to be another cool morning with lows starting out in the upper 50s, but warming into the upper 70s by the time we get into the afternoon with partly cloudy skies. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you got to see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers, too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown, featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown, September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Fight card subject to change.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, look at these upsets. Chris, I know that probably shouldn't talk about this, but I saw something during the break that kind of shook me. Guess there's a new study coming out, or that came out. Maybe it's not new. It's new to me. And it deals with, well, I'm just going to say it. It basically breaks down how disgusting it is to pee standing up.
Okay.
It kind of shook me, dude, because I think they're right. Like, well, I'll just give you a quick sample.
Do you know how dirty it is for a man to pee standing up? During the 21-second release, guys usually aim for 4 spots. The back of the toilet is the most destructive option. The rebound splash can be up to 7,550 drops of urine. If you're facing the water in the middle of the toilet, that's 372 drops of urine. Simply put, even if you're the best shooter, you can't escape the splash of urine. When the urine flies 7.5 to 15 centimeters, the urine will collide with each other in midair, so it breaks into smaller drops, flying higher, farther, and wider. The maximum process can reach 91.4 centimeters, dropping onto the toothbrush, towel, tissue paper next to it. And 77% of guys will shake after peeing. The residual urine will also become everywhere. If they are not cleaned up in time.
Hold on. What are the other 23% doing? 77% shake?
Guess you just walk away.
That's not.
Hope for the best.
That's not right. That's not right at all. And then they're talking about it builds up a thing.
It will slowly form urine scale. It gives off a bad odor. Many men may think that peeing standing up is a sign of male honor.
Yes.
But in some countries, most of them pee sitting down. For example, German boys are taught from a young age that peeing while sitting is the real deal.
German boys pee standing down or sitting down. What?
And according to a study, that there was no difference between boys peeing. There's no difference in the speed or time of peeing. So do you stand or sit? Feel free to discuss.
That shook me. It makes sense. It actually is more logical to pee sitting down. It really is. It's cleaner. And I'm a psycho about that stuff.
So Mason's ahead of the game.
Yeah, lazy pee. It's what he does. Now, granted, like the bathroom in my room, the toilet's in its own little room.
Yeah, who's got like all their stuff right next to the toilet?
I don't know that. I mean, like, but like our downstairs. See, here's the thing. I think we'd be a lot cleaner as a society if you had some sort of like glasses you could put on that gave you that infrared view immediately. I know there's glasses that exist that do that. What I'm saying is like just sunglasses you wear and you could hit a little button, it goes into infrared and you could see all the stuff.
I think you want to throw up.
That's what I'm saying. And I'll tell you, the number one culprit would be your phone. If you could, I try to clean my phone often, but the phone is the most disgusting thing in everyone's possession, no doubt about it. It is disgusting. And we just kind of deal with it because it's hard to see stuff on a phone. But all the things you're doing and talking and this and that and whatever, now I got to rethink my whole life, dude. Because I don't think it's faster. I'm sorry. I don't think it's faster.
And a lot of it is like when you do need to go and there's like a countdown in your head and it's like, if I don't get there quickly, I'm not going to make it, like that type of thing. Like, I think there'd be more trouble.
It's what I'm saying. And like, I acknowledge, I don't think it's toxic masculinity, but I feel like I'm supposed to pee standing up, like as a man, like that just feels right. It doesn't feel right to sit down, but then.
I mean, it's less steps.
But that's what I'm saying. But why? Why is it not? Why is that Why is that wrong?
Well, you got to remember that bathroom toilets haven't been invented for.
Yeah. So, but how does that work on a urinal, though? That could get a little embarrassing. It just be a little difficult to sit down at a urinal. I'm just saying, man. I don't even want to look at the comments. All right, let's get to these upsets. That's a good way to start the 7 a.m. hour, everybody. Welcome, man.
Yeah, you are upset.
I am upset. Okay, let's look at what's going on here. Week 1, we almost had a big upset in Buffalo, but the Bills were able to beat Arizona. New England beating Cincinnati in Cincinnati for their home opener definitely qualified as a pretty big upset. But other than that, Dallas, I remember I picked that as my upset of the week, but also Dallas was, I think, 2.5-point underdogs in Cleveland. That's not a huge upset. And then you almost had an upset in the Detroit LA game, but Detroit ended up winning that 26-20. Other than that, Baltimore was close against Kansas City, but close ain't it. Now you get into week 2. This is a pretty crazy week. Not only New Orleans going into Dallas and being down, not only was that an upset, but they beat them 44-19. That's upsettier, if you will. Buffalo, remember, they were actually underdogs to Miami in Miami, a 2.5-point underdog. They beat the Dolphins 31-10, and we almost forget about that because of what happened with Tua Tagovailoa. Tampa Bay went into Detroit. Detroit almost started out 0-2 at home to the Rams and Bucks. Tampa Bay wins 20-16. That's an upset. Green Bay beating Indy. You would think that's not an upset, but without Jordan Love, it was an upset. Minnesota beating San Francisco. I believe the Niners were 6.5-point favorites. New England almost doesn't count, beat Seattle. They ended up having to go to OT for that. Let's see. Arizona beating the Rams 41-10. That's an upset. You almost had Cincinnati bouncing back and beating Kansas City at Arrowhead. That did not happen. Last night, Atlanta, though, 22-21 over Philly. I don't remember what Philly was favored by, but I want to say it was probably 5 or 6. And then, of course, you could argue the biggest upset of the week, if not certainly top 2, those Raiders going into Baltimore. I still think that's actually, I understand Patriots over Bengals is probably the biggest upset of the year. I actually think, and by the way, at the end of the year, we may not look at this as an upset at all, but the Raiders going into Baltimore, I will tell you this, and everybody, your results may differ. But I think if you'd have told me that there was going to be an upset and it would either be the Raiders going into Baltimore after Baltimore almost beat Kansas City at Arrowhead with what we expect out of Baltimore, either the Raiders were going to beat Baltimore after losing to the Chargers, or the Patriots were going to beat the Bengals. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Baltimore's a better team than Cincinnati, and I think the Raiders are a better team than the Patriots. But I think I still would have said, maybe the Patriots got them. Just because the Bengals are so damn Jekyll and Hyde, the rumors of Joe Burrow's wrist being jacked up, I would make an argument that as of right now, week 2, Raiders over Ravens is the biggest upset we've had this year. And again, I get it. It may be a situation where we're looking in week 9, week 10, week 17 and going, oh, wow, the Raiders were a lot better than we thought, and the Ravens were a lot worse than we thought. I completely understand that. And I don't know, nor do I really care how this affects your betting lines, how this affects the bettors market in general. I don't care about that. It's just interesting that it's one of the reasons why the NFL is so amazing, because you just don't know what the hell is going on. You really don't. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. You can make educated guesses. Those educated guesses will be right more times than not, but you have no idea. And that's why they say any given Sunday or Thursday or Monday or sometimes Friday and occasionally Saturday. The separation in the NFL for wide receivers through 2 games. This is via Next Gen Stats. This is the average a receiver will separate from the defender. The third worst separation, actually, there's a three-way tie for second, third, and fourth at 3. The worst separation in the NFL, 2.9 by the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers have the worst separation for wide receivers in the league. And Deebo Samuel, who had no separation. And there's other factors here, the way they're covered, they're doubled, no Christian McCaffrey, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you right now, man, we'll talk about this later in the week. Boy, does Brandon Ayuk need to step up against the Rams and every other team. He needs to earn that. You need to start. I understand you were out, you held out fine, great. You've had 3 solid weeks now, dude. In that blowout win over the Rams we mentioned earlier, from Arizona, Marvin Harrison Jr. became the first rookie with at least 4 catches and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter of a game since Marvin Harrison in 1996. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Never did talk about the UFC experience on Saturday. Niners or Raiders? Who's got the better chance of losing? We got a basketball question in there for you as well. Sean Salisbury in just under an hour. Don't forget Overreaction Tuesday at the bottom of this hour. We're right back after this.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcast ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Got a list of overreactions, or are they just reactions? That's in 15 minutes. In the meantime, 3 for Madness. Christopher Loud with question 1.
Did you get to see the UFC at the Sphere on Saturday?
So it's the first time in a long time that I was at the Republic match Saturday doing some other stuff. It's the first time in a long time that I've gone back and watched a pay-per-view after I knew the results. But there was a reason for this. And a lot of it was the job being done, not just by the UFC, but others on social media to put out clips. I don't know if you saw any of these, Chris, but I think the UFC put something like $20 million into the production. They did there's a behind the scenes documentary coming out, and it just kind of hammered home the idea that I'll tell you right now, for the sports that it can hold, because it can't hold every sport, that is the greatest venue in the world, period. There's no better venue. There's no better venue.
As of right now.
As of this second. It was insane. And it was they called it Noche UFC. It was a love letter to the Mexican spirit, culture, and fight heritage, especially.
Oh, that's cool. So they had Mexicans in the main event.
Sean O'Malley, I believe, hails from deep Mexico. Followed by the other. No, but they did have Mexican fighters. They had the ring girls dressed in like classic Aztec costumes. Dude, it looked like you were watching a video game. I would just invite you to YouTube, Google, search for it on Twitter. There's clips all over the place. Look, James Dolan is a garbage can as an owner, but I continually have to tip my cap to that team led by him that came up with the sphere. And by the way, I know James Dolan didn't come up with the sphere. It was somebody he pays, and then he's funding it. Let's not I'll take showers with James Dolan and celebrate. I get it. But I would love to see, and there's already plans for 2 more. I think it got. Oh, did they get?
I think the one in London.
Yeah, you're right. London or Paris, but yeah. You're right.
I believe the original plan was Vegas. I want to say New York and London. And there was something with London where they're like, we got to go back to the drawing board.
I wonder how you look at how much it cost. Like, if let's say that we were at relocation right now with the Kings, and the Kings stayed, and you have to build a new arena. Like, dude, build that. Like, you can play basketball in those. You could do that, and just, oh my God, because they can do whatever they want graphically. If you're not familiar with the sphere, look it up. But not just the outside, the inside. It's all giant screens. It's all you can run video over the entire thing. And it's not just for sporting events, obviously. In fact, sporting events are just being tried there, but it's really the concerts, the shows, movies. I imagine there will soon be, if there's not already, sphere specific movies. I
believe there's like a running movie now that's specifically for it.
Yeah, like the Experience the Sphere thing that they're selling. And even the business aspects of it. Not only does it look insane, excuse me, from the outside, but the advertising you can sell on it. I mean, it's literally a sitting billboard. Oh, by the way, before we move on, somebody asked me to talk about this, and I will at some point, but I really like this idea of this. And I don't know if this is the city of Sacramento alone, or if it has to be a combo with Sac and West Sac, but I really love the idea of lighting the Tower Bridge purple after wins in conjunction with the beam. That's it. I like that. You don't like that?
I think you have to have one or the other.
Why?
Huh?
Why? The beam goes up and the bridge.
Well, now you've got 2 things.
Yeah.
And so,
Look, if it was up to me,
whole city
turns part of the beam goes on, and a wave of, it's like in Deep Impact with Morgan Freeman when the asteroid hits and you see the concussion. It's a concussion of purple throughout the city. I'm fine with that. I think the Tower Bridge would look cool in purple. But I wonder, whose jurisdiction is that? Is it like half Sacramento and the other half West Sac?
I think there's probably some sort of partnership that they have to,
like a Tower Bridge Committee trust.
Yes.
We have to talk to people about this. I'm going to talk to people, see what they have to say. All right, number 2, please.
Question 2.
Better chance at losing this weekend, the Niners or the Raiders?
Well, let's take a look and see what Vegas thinks, because I gotta think that Raiders,
I think Vegas thinks that they'll win. I mean, they are the team.
So,
the city. You mean the gambling aspect?
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. So Vegas is favored by 5.5. Yeah, the Raiders are favored by. It still seems weird to say Vegas about the Raiders. The Raiders are 5.5 point favorites over the Panthers. The Niners are 7 point favorites over the Rams. Now, look, I think both teams are going to win. And by the way, both teams will probably cover the spread. I think, honestly, I got to look yesterday because I want to say that Raiders line was 7.5, or I think that's an Andy Dalton effect. We'll talk about that later. Bryce Young has been benched. Andy Dalton will start Sunday. It's probably not great news for the Raiders, if I'm being honest. I'd rather have Bryce Young under center at this point than Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's not going to – he doesn't have the explosive ability Bryce does, but Bryce has been absolutely trash this year. And, well, let's be honest, most of last year too. I actually, if it was up to me, if you told me one of these teams is going to lose, the Niners or the Raiders this weekend based on their opponents, I would say the Niners. Neither of them will, I don't think. But the Niners are not only on the road, but the Rams are going to be upset. And sometimes when you take away – look, you've taken away Nakua and Cooper Kupp. This doesn't always work like this, but sometimes, look, there's a guy who's been killing it in practice, who's just been begging for reps, and this is his big opportunity. His one shot, his one opportunity, mom spaghetti, all that stuff. And all of a sudden, it turns out to be a thing. Or Kyron Williams has 3 touchdowns. You never know what the hell's going to happen. I don't see anything on Carolina. I think Carolina probably is the worst team in the NFL. Carolina is a team that very well might win 1 or 2 games this year. And I understand that that Raider fan might be sitting there saying, shut up, don't jinx it. I feel you. I do. I feel you. And yes, I get how, just like it would be Kingsy to beat the Celtics in Boston and then lose at home to Charlotte 2 days later, it would be Raidery to get that big win in Baltimore and then lose at home to Carolina. I get it. But the Raiders are a far better team than the Carolina Panthers. So I don't see that happening. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Media Day is in less than 2 weeks. Are you excited for basketball yet?
From the text line at 916-339-1140. Dave, are you saying the Sphere is better than Golden One Center? Yeah. Yes. I love Golden One Center. It's state of the art. If you were telling me we could trade Golden One Center for the Sphere and just like move them, yeah. Yes. 100%.
I mean, and it should be. Like, it came out after Golden One Center, and it's like way more than what Golden One Center is.
It's like literally the most technologically advanced venue in the world. Yeah. And by the way, someday I'll be like, oh, this is better than the Sphere. Sphere's where it's at right now. Not to mention, it looks cool as hell. Imagine the Sphere in the same spot as Golden One Center with all the designs and everything. Now, granted, it's a little different because in Vegas, you can see the whole circle of the Sphere. That you can see it from all the way around. In the Golden One Center spot, some of it's will be kind of covered up. But God, oh my God. Up until the Sphere, my favorite venue of all time, I invite you to Google it, look it up, was Shanghai's basketball arena, which I think they called it the Mercedes-Benz Arena.
It looks a lot like Bayern Munich Stadium from the outside.
The one in Shanghai?
Mm-hmm.
No, Bayern Munich. That's the tire, right? The white bubblies. Isn't that what in Bayern Munich?
I guess that's what you're describing.
Yeah, that's the one it looked like that's the one I just drove by when I was over there a couple times. It's like these white.
I've only seen it lit up at night. I don't know what it looks like.
Oh yeah. So it's in daytime. It's just, and that's awesome. This thing in Shanghai it's literally a spaceship. Like it looks like a clamshell on top and a clamshell on the bottom with a glowing light in between the clamshells. And there's a nice bit of separation between the clamshells, so you can change the lighting. They had it as purple there because the Kings and Nets were there. And it looks like a spaceship floating through the air. I really wanted that as the design for Golden One Center. That's not what we got. I don't know. When I first saw the designs for Golden One Center, I was like, that looks like Minecraft. But it's worked out. It hasn't worked out?
I'm just looking at the Shanghai.
What, you don't think it looks like a spaceship?
It does look like a spaceship, but I don't want a spaceship in town.
Here's a text. Could the Sphere... the Sphere could save the NBA All-Star game. See, and maybe part of this is because Sacramento doesn't get it, and so I'm a little petty, but I wouldn't mind the All-Star game being in Vegas every year at the Sphere.
Well, they already have the playing game every year now.
In Vegas?
That's what.
Yeah. Put that at the Sphere. What would be the Sphere basketball capacity? I wonder if they even. I don't think
what would be cool is because you're going to have obviously that screen behind it, and I like what they did with the fights where they have they're putting their records up and stuff like that as they're coming in, so you could have live stats like we do now, but
absolutely
completely insane.
It's just, by the way, the Sphere has a seated capacity of 17,600 and a standing room capacity of 20,000. Now I imagine with a basketball court and all the things you need in the middle, that might change a tad, but you're right there. And I mean, 17,600, that's exactly right for the NBA. The only thing I wonder with this fear is the same thing I've wondered since day one. Is are we eventually going to have an issue with those prone to seizures, epilepsy, et cetera? Like, that just seems incredibly overwhelming. But I'm there. I mean, I'm all for it, and props to the UFC for doing that. Oh, it's Media Day. Am I excited? Yes. And we will be broadcasting out there from Media Day. I don't think we won't be live because Media Day doesn't start till, I don't know if they've announced it. It's usually around 11 a.m. It'll be a week from this coming Monday, but we will have all kinds of stuff for you, not just the following day, but throughout the week. I think last year we sat down with De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Coach Mike Brown, amongst others. And we'll have a lot of that. Also, it's drop day at Media Day, so we're gonna have to the drop day is where hi, this is DeMar DeRozan. You're listening to Sacktown Sports. We're gonna have to come up with a couple of lines.
DeMar DeRozan. There is nothing like us. They're not anything like us.
Just to have the dumbest thing. Hi, this is DeMar DeRozan, and you're listening to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. And they are nothing like you. Just the dumbest, most middle-age drop. We'll take a break when we get back. Overreaction Tuesday. Chris, in front of you are a list of possible overreactions from week 2 of the NFL. We'll go over all of those. Coming up at 7:43, we'll dial down a little bit more on Media Day and what all that entails, and really just are you in the frame of mind for the Sacramento Kings before we get to Buster Posey at 8 a.m. Also to come on the program, Niners at 9. And if you didn't think Farhan Zaidi was on his way out before, wait till you hear about Farhan Zaidi and Matt Chapman. Andrew Baggerly, who has covered the team for a long time, the Giants, did a great job in uncovering this. We'll share his story and more. We'll do that right after this.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At the UPS Store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, venues, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop prints that pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Fight card subject to change.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A54 5G when you switch to the Total 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C, or a multivitamin to get key nutrients. We've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
A new Honda? Nice. Well, it was like this. It was a super hot day, so we all stopped for some ice cream. When bam, the AC went out. My dad started sweating and was all, man, I stink. And my brother was like, I hate this car. And my mom was all, I'm dying in here. Then I said, it's time to call Stockton Honda. Then Dad was like, honey, you're right. I knew you were my favorite. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue. StocktonHonda.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Craig on the text line says, good morning. Oversight of the bridge might be the Corps of Engineers, Coast Guard, or Department of Harbors and Navigation. Kind of a fun place to work. The Department of Harbors and Navigation. Where do you work? I work for the DHN. Now, what do you do?
Ever see in a harbor?
Ever see a harbor? That's me. You ever use a GPS? That's me. I'm the voice. John Party tickets coming up here probably at the end of the segment. Stick around. We'll get you in there. John Party at the Shoreline. In the meantime, every Tuesday, we overreact, or at least present an overreaction to you. And Chris, in front of you, you have a list of possible. It was a man of Rome. Is that what this is? It was a man of Rome. Honor him. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the Foreign Legions. Something, something, something. Father to a dead kid. Husband of a dead wife. And I will have my revenge in this life or the next. Which is, by the way, perhaps the coolest. That is probably my favorite all-time mini monologue delivery ever.
The first time that you witnessed it, it was one of those like, oh.
Although I will say with Gladiator, here's the thing. It's really, you couldn't tell you couldn't tell that was Maximus. It wasn't like a Chewbacca mask he was wearing. It was a hat with a little nosy thing.
We thought he killed him. He's dead.
I get it, but at some point you heard his voice. You have spent your whole life around this dude. You didn't know. He takes off the blindfold and it's Maximus. Overreaction Tuesday, go.
The 49ers aren't as good as we thought.
I think that's an overreaction. I do. First off, Brandon Ayuk being out or not being Brandon Ayuk is a big deal. Christian McCaffrey is the Swiss Army knife of the NFL and was, from a positional standpoint, non-quarterback standpoint, the MVP of last year. He's been out. And you have that, and I can't excuse this, but I think there's a little mental malaise there, a Super Bowl letdown once again. We've talked about it so many times. These perennial Super Bowl or NBA Finals or World Series teams, they don't put the same focus that they do in the postseason as they do on the regular season. Just look at the Chiefs last year going into the postseason, and boom. And by the way, it should be noted the Chiefs are 2-0. The Chiefs are 2-0. So, they won the Super Bowl. Where's their general malaise? Well, they won their two games by a combined 8 points, and they probably should be 1-1. I think the Chiefs are head and shoulders above everybody, but it's beginning of the season. So I do think it's an overreaction. If you followed the Niners for any bit of time, you know there's always going to be a stretch every year, like last year where they lost 3 in a row. It just happens. I'm going to wait to get a little more worried about this team. Next up.
The Raiders are better than we thought.
I don't think that's an overreaction at all. I understand that they're 1-1, and I understand that they lost what was essentially a home game, if you will, to the Chargers. But first on the Chargers. The Chargers are 2-0. Granted, they beat Carolina last week. But we've talked about, again, as a Niner guy, we've talked about Jim Harbaugh and the Jim Harbaugh effect. He's like, he loves milk. He is milk. He's great in the beginning. He begins to spoil after a while. I'll worry about Jim Harbaugh in years 3 and 4, but if there are any sure bets, it's that Jim Harbaugh's first year at a team's, as head coach of a team, they're going to most likely finish in the over when it comes to projected win total. So I'm not going to discount that Charger loss. And then they go into Baltimore and they beat the Ravens. Also, in both cases, that defense, was it perfect? No. Looked damn good. It looked damn good. So I don't think it's an overreaction. I think at least through 2 games, I think the Raiders are better than we thought. I think Gardner Minshew being number 3 after 2 games in the league in passing yardage is not what people expected. And
it's pretty funny that Derek Carr is ahead of him.
Right, I know, exactly. Like Derek Carr is the MVP of the league right now. It's hilarious. They've given up a combined 45 points in 2 games, which is an average of 22.5 a game. And I think that gets better for them. I think that defense is for real. I have doubts about the offense, but I think they're better than a lot of us, including myself, thought through 2 games at the beginning of the year. Next up.
This could absolutely be the Bills season.
Yes. I'm pausing because I understand that gets said every year pretty much for the last few years. Look, last year was the whole DeMar Hamlin thing. It was just a goofy season for them. This team has scored 65 points over 2 games. And honestly, that 31-10 win over the Dolphins is really where it looks scary. Josh Allen was 13-19 for 139 yards and a touchdown. It's just because so much was available in so many different ways. James Cook is more than Dalvin Cook's brother. He is a hell of a running back threat 2 ways. And they can beat you in all kinds of different places. Maybe most impressive, they've given up 38 points in those 2 games. If that defense comes to play, that offense is one of the, if not the best in the NFL. Yeah, they've got to get rid of, they got to figure out the intangibles. And look, we all know what it's going to come down to. You got to face Patrick Mahomes and you got to beat him. You got to stare down Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs and you got to beat him. But I will say, November 17th, playing the Chiefs in Buffalo. I hope it's snowy as hell. I'm looking forward to that. Next up.
The Kyler Murray-Marvin Harrison connection is going to be crazy good.
Yeah, I think so. And really, that's more about Kyler Murray than it is about Marvin Harrison. I don't know why, what, who, when, where, whatever the hell. But that game against Buffalo, it's like he just kind of forgot that Marvin Harrison was there, perhaps. He targeted Marvin Harrison just 3 times, and Harrison had 1 catch for 4 yards. Greg Dortch led the way for Arizona. Now, granted, a really good secondary and a good corner can do things like that to you, but Marvin Harrison is way, way, way too good. You go from 3 targets in a loss to the Bills, and then they end up playing the Rams the next game. And here's what happens. When you target Marvin Harrison 8 times, good things happen. By the way, he only caught 4 of them. 4 catches, $130, and 2 touchdowns. And most of that came in the first quarter. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be insanely good. And I think that connection could be very, very good if Kyler Murray holds up his end of the bargain. So, no, that's not an overreaction. Next.
Caleb Williams ain't it.
It's after 2 games. I think that's an overreaction. But I can tell you this, Caleb Williams ain't it so far. Now, look. The Bears are 1-1, and the Bears lost by 6 points in Houston to the defending division champion and a team that's considered a top 5 team this year. That's nothing to hang your head over. But he has yet to throw a touchdown. He has 2 picks, and he's thrown for a total of 267 yards. It ain't pretty. By the way, he's not doing it all with his feet. 60 yards rushing. That's fine. 30 a game. But Also, he's 22. I'd like to remind everybody that Troy Aikman and Peyton Manning both went 1-15 their rookie years. We talked about Nick Saban speaking to Matt Eberflus, the Bears head coach, during Hard Knocks. He talked about the pressure that is on these quarterbacks and the time they need. I don't know that Caleb Williams is going to be a Pro Bowler or a Hall of Famer, but I do know he needs some time. And even if the Bears are 2-15 this year, we don't know about Justin Fields. Somebody asked me this yesterday. Would the Bears be better off with Justin Fields and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Or Caleb Williams and who they've got? Well, I think they made the right move. But we've seen too much of these quarterbacks, and Sam Darnold is an early example. Quarterbacks not surrounded by enough talent that are just thrown to the wolves. Zach Wilson got completely eaten up, but in Darnold's case, it looks like he's coming into his own. So I would say that is an overreaction. We'll take a break. When we come back, Media Day is in less than 2 weeks. Are you guys ready for Sacramento Kings basketball? Because ready or not, it's going to be here very, very shortly. Also, we're going to take caller number 5 right now on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, 1-800-920-1140. John Party returns to Shoreline Amphitheater September 27th. We want to get you there. So to score those pairs of tickets, or should I say pair of tickets, to check out John Party on his Mr. Saturday Night World Tour, courtesy of Live Nation, 1-800-920-1140, caller number 5. Media Day coming up. Sacramento Kings basketball coming up. We'll be right back on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, it will certainly be emotional when the A's get back home to begin the final homestand in Oakland. And think of all the success the A's have had over the years at the Coliseum. In fact, the A's have the most walk-off wins in baseball beginning in 1968. Including 3 on the last homestand, the home run by Shea Langoliers and 2 singles by Seth Brown.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay to store bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
A new pool can transform your backyard into a beautiful oasis. Now, that's what happened with us when we made the best decision and called Premier Pools and Spas. The process began with an in-person consultation with the designer, and the end result, well, it's been several years of family fun in our forever pool. Now, you can find out for yourself by coming out to the Endless Summer Bash from Premier Pools and Spas. That's this Saturday from 10 to 4 at their newly renovated showroom in Rancho Cordova. They'll have food, ice cream, bounce houses, and more, but you can come get design ideas for your pool. But also, they build outdoor living spaces, fire pits, pavers, and so much more. That's this Saturday from 10 to 4 at Premier Pools and Spas' newly renovated showroom in Rancho Cordova. Find out for yourself why they've been the region's leading pool builder and serving Sacramento since 1988. That's Premier Pools and Spas, contract license number 589234.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Part 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmichael.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha.
Did your boobs stop working?
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk. Do you have old baseball cards and sports memorabilia from the 50s and 60s collecting dust in your closet? They could be very valuable in any condition. Find out at the Sports Cards Roadshow. We'll be in the Sacramento area to evaluate your old and modern sports cards. Visit sportscardsroadshow.com today to schedule your appointment. Ask about your free on-site sports card evaluation. For large vintage and modern collections, we can come to you. Skip the garage sale. Sports Cards Roadshow is buying. Call 1-800-560-3272 today or visit sportscardsroadshow.com.
Place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Jason will be back on Thursday. He's back east at the ownership. That'd be cool. At the at the broadcasters meetings. He'll be back Thursday. And open invite for Jason. I told him last night if he wants to check in and let us know what they're doing.
That's like the first thing for me of like the season is starting is when Jason goes away to the broadcast meetings.
Yeah, it's I hope he experiences some, go out and get a hot dog.
You too.
Get some of that. Go to one of them halal trucks. Oh God, the New York food, dude, is so. That would be, like I'm trying to eat better. No chance. Nope. No chance. Couldn't live there. Could not live in New York. Definitely, though, if I was a billionaire or something, well, you'd hate me, but also that would be a place. That would be, I'd have a something there. Something just to go. I can take about a week. About 7 days in New York, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Love it. At towards the end, though, the thing about New York, I always feel when I'm there is that I am 100% in the process of getting sick. Like I may feel perfect, but you're just so cramped with people. And I think it's like how doctors never get sick. I think it's just because they build up an immunity over time because everybody brings in their stupid sick kids to hack on the pediatrician or whatever. And they build up. You think pediatricians and doctors in general be sick all the time. They have this, they don't. I feel like in New York, it's like that too. If you grow up and you're constantly surrounded by this crush of people on the subway, everywhere you go, you build up some sort of immunity.
I don't have time to be sick. Forget about it.
Hey, I'm being healthy here.
You know what's going to help you get better? A nice slice down at Rico's.
God, that's the thing I miss, dude. It really is true. I had to try it for myself because I always thought it was some stupid urban legend, where you're from New York, so everybody says that their city is the best. This, that. No, the bagels and the bagels and the pizza. New York style is not my favorite. I'd rather have Chicago style than New York style. I'm a little different that way, but the crust of the pizza, the bagels, the taste. It's the water they have there.
I can't remember who. I know that there was a bagel place. Someone from New York was living in LA and they started a bagel shop, but they got the water shipped in that they use for the bagels from New York.
Yeah, no, because it's a whole thing. I finally ended up reading about it. And I've talked about this, I think, at least once before, but New York has some of the cleanest public water of any big city in the world, which you like literal tap water, because they have this like natural limestone underground well aquifer or something, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it filters the water and adds in certain nutrients or whatever that, yeah, they will import. You cannot duplicate New York bagels and you cannot duplicate New York pizza without the water. So yeah, you're going to get big old water truck. And then the delis. Oh God. Yeah. Oh man. Part of me is I'd like my daughter to stick around here, but two of the schools she's applying to are in New York. And I don't like that idea necessarily from selfish reasons, wanting her to be close to me. But if dude, tell me about it. Oh God. My discretionary income is about to absolutely get
man, I'm out of cash.
Murdered in the next year. Just murdered. Hey, what are you doing for vacation this year? I want to camp in the backyard. We're setting up a tent. It'll be fine.
No, go and stay in her dorm.
Seriously. So the other couple we always vacation with this coming weekend, their oldest, who's the oldest of the four kids, my two and their two, he's the first one to leave for college. So he's going, I won't say where, but he's going to a UC, not Davis. He is going to a UC. And I want to say his room and board is something like $1,700 a month. And I found out last weekend that he is sharing basically a bunk room. It'll be him and his 6 roommates. 7 to, I think it's a room with a bath, and it's communal bathrooms and showers. And then I don't know, maybe they have a hot plate. Dude, it is just.
This is when I get upset with people that went to college in the 70s and they say, like, what do you even need college loans for? I had a job at McDonald's and that paid for all of my college tuition. And I went to Yale.
Why don't you try that? Yeah, I got out. I bought a house. My first house, I had that. Yeah, it was like $80,000 for a 3-bedroom. Not the same. It's not the same. From the 916, Dave question, I'm on a weight loss journey as well. One thing I hate is packed gyms. I'm thinking of signing up for a gym that's $129 a month. Am I crazy? It's brand new, state of the art, and that price will keep people out. Well, I think the last sentence is the most important. Will that price keep people out? I would make sure of that first. And then also you have to ask yourself, I think too, I'm the expert here. Are you better off buying, if you don't like the people part, are you better off investing in buying home equipment? That's what I would say.
You could probably get something paying $120 a month.
That's 100% right. That's 100% right. Look, the tonal gym I bought, I think with installation or something like that was like $4,000. It's not cheap. But it also, if I were to have joined a gym every year and I'm paying, what is it, $70 a month? I don't know what it is.
I pay $10 a month.
Oh, well, then never mind. The last one I think was at some 24-hour fitness or something. It was like $70 a month. And then, so that's what, $840 a year? So you need about 4 years to pay that sucker off. I don't know, just my dad had a Bowflex once and it ended up being straight up a clothes hanger. Media Days in 2 weeks. And just want to mention that 2 weeks from yesterday, where all the media gathers around, all the players, everybody's back. There's always going to be a new hairstyle. Somebody will have visually bulked up quite a bit. Somebody will have lost weight quite a bit. And that's where Mike Brown announced his presence with authority by screaming across the room with Rashawn Holmes, all in fun, of course. And we will have all the sound for you that week. So that's 2 weeks from now. And then, ladies and gentlemen, what you really care about, because Media Day is a private event and whatever for media, that's not going to do you guys any good. But Friday, October 4th, which is what, 2 weeks from this Friday, we've got the Jazz, Nuggets, Celtics, Timberwolves, Lakers, all involved in preseason games. And I believe the Warriors Clippers is on Saturday. The first Kings preseason game, because some of those start early, is it's not for, I know we got a break here, Chris. Just let me find, what is it, Wednesday, October 9th? There you go. Warriors Kings on ESPN. Warriors Kings October 9th. So that would be 2 weeks from tomorrow is your first NBA preseason game. Let's go. We'll take a break. When we come back, hour number 2, and what a great way to start off with hour number 2. Sean Salisbury makes his regular Tuesday appearance to talk all things football. We'll talk about his Raiders. Of course, we'll talk about the Niners, what's going on there, and the football in general. Sean Salisbury coming up next.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia. I'm meteorologist Kelly Kern in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It's going to be another cool morning with lows starting out in the upper 50s, but warming into the upper 70s by the time we get into the afternoon with partly cloudy skies. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers, the No Surprise Guys. We love that old song, Respect.
You know, RESPECT. It's a good song and a good business philosophy. At Bell Brothers, everything we do is designed to show respect for our customers. We show up on time out of respect. Our technicians are clean-cut, friendly, and wear identification badges out of respect. We do good deeds for free for our customers and leave their homes cleaner than we found them. That's right, out of respect. So, if you want plumbing and AC service from a company that will show you some RESPECT, call Bell Brothers. We promise to respect your time, your home, and you. Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Or call if you have plumbing problems. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
I don't even want to know what's going on YouTube right now. Oh, Derek in Tacoma needs to provide some clarification. Camp says if you have a wall, if you have a floor and an upright wall, you've got a gym. Don't get me wrong, there is something romantic about putting on the Karate Kid music and tying one of them little bandana things around your head and hitting the heavy bag and jumping up and down on a ledge, I don't know, box, using stuff only. I do not doubt that one could 100% be in fantastic shape with literally like no bought equipment. I imagine there are many workouts out there from all the cardio you could do. I mean, hell, if you just did what Herschel Walker used to do, 5,000 sit-ups and push-ups a day, tricep pushes on push-ups on a couch, lifting bricks, squatting. No doubt. It's just the equipment makes it. I'm not gonna lie. Equipment does make it easier. We'll see. Sean, we are efforting Sean Salisbury, who look, it's going to happen with him. You guys know, longtime listeners. Sean's finishing up with his show in Houston that he does, and then joins us. And we always we understand sometimes I'll take a couple minutes. So Chris is efforting that. In the meantime, I have some stuff for you. No surprise here, other than it's the right thing to do. The Oklahoma City Thunder have said they will give the Sonics their history back if the NBA grants Seattle an NBA team. According to sources, if a team were to return to Seattle, the Thunder would simply cede the Seattle history back to the Supersonics, just like the Hornets reclaimed the Charlotte era history of the New Orleans Pelicans when Charlotte switched from being the Bobcats in 2014, which that's the pettiest thing. Do you imagine if the Thunder were like, nah, we're keeping it? Why? Just cause? Come on, dude. Also, they were talking about the algorithm of things earlier on the YouTube chat, and here's an example on my Twitter. I just got a notification that for showtimes for the Sphere this week, because we've been talking about the Sphere. Did you text him, by the way? You did? Okay. And the thing that we were talking about, the movie that kind of showcases what goes on at the Las Vegas Sphere and is pretty to look at. It's called the Sphere Experience, and that runs perpetually. I feel like they missed an opportunity there. Shouldn't it be the experience? Right? The Sphere Experience. best answer to a question you're going to hear over the weekend was Bo Nix. The rookie quarterback was asked about the interception he threw in the end zone, and I really enjoyed his answer. Yeah.
So can you take us through the interception in the end zone?
Yeah. Drop back, do it to the other team.
One more time for you.
Bo, can you take us through the interception in the end zone?
Yeah. Drop back, do it to the other team.
Look, find the lie. Mad Dog Russo is Mad Dog Russo. Now, granted, I'm probably always getting it wrong too, but Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, I believe is how it's pronounced. Might be more N on that. Njigba. Well, I always mess it up, so I'm going to stand in front of Mad Dog, but he had an adventure.
The Seahawks blocked a 48-yard field goal with 4 minutes left, which would have put the Pats up 6. That was a big play in this game. Smith played well, and his receivers, Metcalf caught 10, Jackson Smith-Njigba, the kid from Ohio State.
Wait, what? What?
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
What was that, Mad Dog?
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Njigba. Very close. As a fan of dad jokes, I got to hand it to Dan Orlovsky, who was on the set at ESPN, talking about coordination.
All right. What type of coordination did Whitney Houston have?
What type of coordination did Whitney Houston have?
Henda!
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm an easy mark for that. More dad jokes, less people getting angry at each other. Here's Andy Dalton surprised that he's going to be the starter this weekend.
I definitely wasn't expecting it. When he told me, it's like one of those deals where it's like, okay, this is one thing I've been praying for, another opportunity, and I've got it now.
Mm-hmm. Carolina coach Dave Canales on Andy Dalton starting and why.
Andy gives us our best chance to win.
What makes you say that?
His resume speaks for itself. You know, he's an experienced player. He's got a lot of football in his history. So I'm excited for Andy with this opportunity. And I believe he gives us our best chance to win this week.
What about the owner's influence on these decisions, Coach?
Ever say in the past that he gets consulted on the big decisions. What was his role in this as you guys talked about?
I want to keep that private. What I would like to say, though, is this is something after I watched the film, I looked at it, had a thought, started working on talking to the guys that we make decisions with. Certainly a lot of parties involved there. And ultimately this comes on me, and my number one responsibility is to help the Panthers win.
Just in case you didn't know, I'm going to keep that private. Means he got a call from David Tepper, the owner, and said, get Young on the bench. I ain't paying for this. I promise you, when they say, because had he not been involved, the answer would have been something like, oh, the owner and I have a great relationship. Mr. Tepper is fantastic. And he's made it very clear that he's going to give me what I need to win, and the decisions are on me, and ultimately I have to be accountable for the team's performance or non-performance. That's the answer you give if ownership is not involved. If ownership is involved, I'm going to keep that private. Sure you are, buddy. You saw Will Levis, the second year, making another big throwing mistake. Here's Coach Brian Callahan on his decision-making process.
I think the camera caught it pretty clear, if I had to guess. So, I was upset. It was dumb. It was the same exact thing he did last week, and he cost us points in the red zone. And that is what it is. He's a grown-up, and he knows better. And so, I was really irritated that he cost us 3 points in a game that we probably needed it.
All right. 1-800-920-1140. Hello, Garrett.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to call and say that I'm a lifelong Raider fan, and I firmly believe the reason why they chose Andy Dalton is because I don't know if you know this, but Andy Dalton's career record against the Raiders is 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0.
And I'm not going to lie, that kind of scares me a little bit. I was excited to face Bryce Young, not so much Andy Dalton. I'll take your comments off air. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. No, Garrett, I get that. We talked about that earlier. And look, he's 4-0. That doesn't mean he's going to be 5-0. And we could go break down a lot of that. I imagine at least 2, if not more, came with the Bengals. Maybe he got one with the Cowboys. I can't remember off the top of my head. Look, and I'm not trying to get Raider fans started here, but the Raiders have been bad for Andy Dalton's entire career. So he's probably going to have a decent record against them. And for the most part was playing for better teams than the Raiders were. But that doesn't mean nothing going into this weekend. Now, if I'm Raider fan, or if I'm the Raiders in general, I would rather face Bryce Young this weekend with the way Bryce is playing than Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's not going to, odds are, there's not a high ceiling with Andy Dalton, but there's a very, very high-ish floor with him. Odds are he's not going to throw you out of the game. He's going to make solid decisions, be very smart, not turn the ball over. But he's also facing, hi, here's a start for you in Max Crosby. And I have a feeling Max Crosby will introduce himself at least a handful of times to Andy Dalton. The old, what's his nickname? The Red what? Red something? It's not Red Rocket, is it? Is it? I don't think so. That's a nickname for something else.
Are you sure?
Is Andy Dalton the Red Rocket? Let me see. If he is, that's awesome. Andy Dalton nickname as we go to break.
Red Rifle.
Red Rifle. The Red Rifle. I love how on Google it says Red Rifle, according to 3 sources. All right, we will continue to chase Sean Salisbury. He just pulled a spin move, so he may be tough to catch. We're gonna just quick 30 seconds. Let me just talk to you real quick, and then we'll get right back into content. Let me talk to you real quick about my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Since I have not done that yet today, let me talk to you about fall coming up. And you know what, guys? This year, winter's going to be right behind it, as opposed to other years. Make sure everything's running smoothly. And I've been telling you a lot about the second opinion partner they are, how they'll beat any deal that's out there. Well, now let's get into tune-ups. $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. That means they're getting in there and making sure everything's cool and safe. By the way, no, I'm not going to do, nor would they want me to do one of those spots where it's like, hey, is your HVAC system safe? Because when you turn that heater on, if it's not, the whole house could catch on fire. I mean, I guess it could, but let's be honest. That's a safety point a lot of people overlook. Not to mention your filters, your ducts. If they're all filled with crap, think about it like this. Think about it like your, the lint trap in your dryer. You got like all those lint things you pull out every once in a while, and if you don't do that, not only will your clothes not get dry, but it's also a little bit of a fire hazard. Well, same thing. Plus, if your filters aren't up to date in your AC heating system, you're breathing some of that stuff. That ain't good. You're sneezing. It's not good at all. So they'll come out, they'll do the inspection. And by the way, if your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. Also, if your system's over 10 years old, it'll be mouthy and constantly want attention. Give us a call. Right now, they're offering $50 off your first recommended repair. Or if you need a new furnace, how about half off the price of a new unit? The AEWay.com gets you an instant quote. And do tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. 30 seconds, and we're back either with Sean Salisbury, or we're going to talk about why Farhan Zaidi is absolutely you're not going to believe what happened with the whole Matt Chapman thing. We'll talk about that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
Gonna hand off to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Hand off to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown!
Hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports. Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Jason Ross back on Thursday. Carmichael Dave, Christopher Law, happy to take you all the way till 10 a.m. when Styles and Watkins will take over. Matt Chapman, 6 years, $151 million contract extension. He'll stay with the Giants through the 2030 season. I love that signing. I love Matt Chapman. I loved him when he was in Oakland A. I love that he's a San Francisco Giant. That might be the brightest spot of the season, to be honest with you, for the Giants. But Andrew Baggerly coming out and reporting that the extension talks between Chapman and the Giants began in mid-August, but team ownership eventually felt forced to take action amid frustration with Farhan Zaidi and Scott Boras, Chapman's agents. So Buster Posey, who is one of, I think, 7 people on the executive board, Buster Posey, that's Florida State's Buster Posey, by the way, Hall of Famer to be Buster Posey, comes in. And he worked directly with Matt Chapman on the contract structure, including the full no-trade clause that was not included by Zaidi in the Giants' original proposal. So when you have an ex-player and legitimately a member of ownership, remember, Posey bought a minority share not that long ago, and he's got to step in and take over the negotiations. Now, there might be some situations where, look, a guy on the board, ex-player, he may have a different relationship with a player, and he can cut through some of the red tape and go directly to him. Notice it wasn't Posey dealing directly with Scott Boras. It was Posey and Chapman talking. And those are, obviously Posey's a guy that Chapman respects, that he looks up to, I'm sure. So you're going to get a different type of conversation than the front office nerds trying to go at it with the agents. Zaidi, for the article, said, quote, "I viewed myself and ownership working in total sync. This was a priority to get done. I'd expect them to be heavily involved in a deal of this magnitude, and they were." Yeah, that's exactly what you should say. I mean, good on him. That's exactly what you should say. But oh, sorry. Okay, I'm just reading a thing. Sean is not going to be able to join us today. I won't say why. He's fine. Just a little bit of a mix-up here. So no Sean today, but did say he could join us on Friday. So we'll get a dose of Sean Friday and a dose of Sean on Tuesday. And I'm just going to send him a quick text. Got the text you sent, Chris. Not Christ, Chris.
Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah, close. And thank you. Look, I don't, it's like when I talk about John Fisher, I always try to say this isn't personal. I don't know the man. I have an idea we wouldn't get along and I wouldn't like him, but I don't know. It's never personal. And A's fans listening, I know it's personal for you. I get that. I'm trying to be a good guy here. It's never personal, but I think John Fisher sucks and needs to be nowhere near owning any form of sports team. With Farhan Zaidi, I don't know him from Adam. He might be a good guy. I truly don't know. It's not personal with Farhan Zaidi, but it is absolute malpractice that he was even involved with the Giants this year. He should have been gone last year. They've got him signed through next year and then an option. He's got to go. And I hope that this Posey thing is a sign that he's going, because Chrissy sucks.
Well, here's what I don't get is this is obviously coming from the Giants organization, these stories coming about.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing type of stories. And then at that point, it's just, well, why don't you just let him go then? Why are you putting this stuff in newspapers?
Why are they leaving? Well, yeah, and you bring up a great point, because let's be clear here. Ownership for the Giants sucks too.
Here's what I don't think that they're prepared for. before it used to be like, oh man, the A's, what a tragedy they are in the Bay Area. They're just this poorly ran organization. Well, guess what? They're not going to be talking about them anymore.
No.
In the Bay Area. There's only the one team there.
They're not going to be running cover. And you're right. But I'll tell you what the nightmare is for the Giants fans. And don't think I haven't thought of this. I don't want to seem like I'm being I think everybody knows I'm incredibly deferential to A's fans and what's going on. So I certainly don't want to say this and make it sound like I'm trivializing or pushing aside what A's fans are going through. And that is the most important thing. But I will tell you, in deep, dark places in my head and places you don't talk about at parties, the thought I have had that terrifies me with this Giants ownership is that the A's do leave, especially when and if they do go to Vegas, if and when they leave the state, period. What I worry about is that the Giants will now own pretty much all of Northern California, the Sacramento Valley, the Bay Area, and they're already the dominant team there, but I'm saying they'll own it. And then it just becomes a cash cow where it's just like, we don't need to invest. Here's our payroll limit. We're going to get X amount of fans coming in because they don't have any other baseball to see. We're going to get our TV contracts and we're going to make a profit we're going to run it like a business. The problem is you can't run teams like a business. You have businessmen that have obviously been successful outside or inherited money. And they come in and they want to run it like they would. Now, look. If you opened up a restaurant and you were like, I don't care, we're going to be the best restaurant in town. Well, Dave, you're paying a bunch of chefs that are world-class to work here. The food is 4-star, Michelin star style food. But you live in this town that really isn't completely into that, and you need about 40% more crowd to come in just to break even. You're losing money every week. Well, of course, you would have to make adjustments to that business in order to be sustainable. You can't run a major league franchise or an NBA franchise or an NFL franchise. You can't. If you make money, that's a bonus. But you're making your money based on the equity of the team. That's how it should be run. I own this team, and I'm going to try to just break even. And if I have a bunch of profit, I'm going to put that back into the stadium, the salaries, this, that, whatever, fan experience. My goal is to break even every year.
Oh, you're loco, man.
And maybe keep a little bit of a squish for the down years. When am I going to make my money? I'm going to make my money whenever I sell this team and it's worth a couple of billion more than when I bought it. It's like a house. You're not making money off your house until you sell the house. If you try to run these teams like a business, it's never going to work out well. I'm talking about profit and loss. And with the Giants, that's the big worry because their ownership is just that type of business. In fact, as far as like the types of people at the top they are, I'd put them right there with Tom Fisher. They just hide it better, and they have a more ingrained blueprint with their fan base, TV contracts, and all that. They're not trying to relocate them anymore. They got their stadium. They got their beautiful waterfront stadium, which is what the A's should have. So Zaidi needs to go because, as we've said many times this year, it's not just that the Giants are a bad team. It's that I've been watching Giants baseball that I can remember. I have memories of Giants baseball in 1985. That's how far back my brain goes. And we're talking Jeffrey Leonard, Chili Davis. Then eventually, Roger Craig and Al Rosen come in, Will Clark, Robbie Thompson. The 87, 89 NL West teams. I've been through some bad Giants teams. The Barry Bonds era. And then obviously the 3 world championships. I've watched Giants teams well, one at least, that lost 100 games. The Johnny LeMaster days, Greg Minton, Scott Gereltz. These last 2 seasons of Giants baseball, I can confidently say, are the most boring Giants baseball I've ever seen. Ever. It's not that I don't mind bad if you're building on something. I don't mind bad if you're like the A's. You're a good story. You're a tragically good story. You have the tragedy stuff going on off the field with the relocation and the great feel-good story going on the field with these guys that are not a good team. They're not going to be 500. The A's aren't good, but they're exciting and they're likable. They're interesting. The Giants are none of those things. So we'll take a break when we come back. Who's hot, who's not? We will go streaking and so much more. That's coming up at 8:44. Next, 4 down territory, including passing touchdowns way down. Why is that? We'll do that next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Uriah. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Kern in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It's going to be another cool morning with lows starting out in the upper 50s, but warming into the upper 70s by the time we get into the afternoon with partly cloudy skies. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA app.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist? Huh, you don't say. Oh, I can't remember.
But she owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The last 6 Sacramento Rivercats games of the 25th anniversary season are packed with promotions and theme nights. Join us for Hispanic Heritage Night on September 17th, the Rivercats golfer hat giveaway on September 20th, our inaugural Harry Potter night on September 21st, and cap off the homestand with Fan Appreciation Day for the final game of the season on Sunday, September 22nd. Make your way to the ballpark for a farewell to the Rivercats of 2024. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets today.
Sponsored by Xfinity Internet. Enjoy ultimate control of your home network. Personalize your Wi-Fi name and password. Assign user profiles. View and control connected devices and more with the Xfinity Internet app.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee, for this. Tyler Rich, Dasha, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
What is coming up tomorrow? I'm blanking. Oh, we got Kelly on Thursday. I feel like we have somebody tomorrow. I should know this. Do we have somebody tomorrow? We don't have anybody tomorrow, do we?
Meal?
Meal Fregosa, Niners United. How could I forget a meal? How could I do that? From the 209, the Giants are at least in conversations with big names. Aaron Judge, Ohtani. It's not the same as John Fisher. That's from a Mariner fan. It's a results business, guys. I do not care. Yeah, they're in conversations. By the way, you don't know the A's aren't in conversation. I don't think they are, but
I've been in conversation with Jennifer Lawrence about going on a date.
100%.
So, but I'm at that level where I'm at least in that conversation.
You're in the conversation. Conversations don't get base hits and hit home runs. Okay. So they can be, of course, agents are going to take calls from major league teams. Hey, can we sign this guy? Well, how much are you offering? Less than everyone else. Oh. Well, what about the culture of the team? Oh, we're not good. Okay. And also just the other thing was Zaidi too. And I guess this is, I'm not trying to be personal. It's just the personal aspect of the job. There's just also way too many reports of just players, agents. They just don't really respond to the guy. He's not, I don't need somebody to be rah-rah, but I'll tell you this much. I'd much rather have Buster Posey running the show than Farhan Zaidi. Please and thank you. All right, 4 down territory time right now before we get to who's hot, who's not. We'll get to Niners at 9. And then don't think we're not going to talk about it. Look, I'm not Jersey Joe over here. I just want the Kings to win ball games, but it was nice to see their unveiling yesterday.
And at least one of those players knew how to keep a secret.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike Bibby. But you know what? I'm so cynical with stuff like that. It's not like Mike Bibby is constantly. Chris is referring to what, about 2-3 weeks ago, Bibby put out a video of him trying on that jersey. And look, I give it a 70% chance that was a controlled leak, if you will. Just a little, it'll get people talking. It's a good PR move. It is. It's the right thing to do. 4th down territory. Yeah, number 1, please.
Passing touchdowns are way down through 2 weeks. Any idea why?
Yeah, I wish I did. I don't. I'd like to say I could put a finger on it. It might be a lack of good quarterbacks. But the numbers are real. Passing touchdowns through 2 weeks. And let me see, because I had this saved from Sunday.
Oh, I've got that saved.
You have that as well. Well, I'm just looking at let me pull up the box score here from last night, because that did not include last night's game. Eagles Falcons last night. I think we only had 2 or 3. Okay.
Okay, I have specific quarterbacks, so you're good.
Oh, gotcha. No, I do not have that. So when we're looking at passing, yeah, dude, in 2019, through 2 weeks, there were 105 passing touchdowns. 110 in 2020, 110 in 2021, 105 in 2022, 86. So there's a 20 touchdown drop in 2023, and then week 2, all games played, 69 nice touchdowns thrown. That is a drop off of 36 touchdowns from 2 years ago in 2 weeks. 41 if you count 20 in 2021. Is it quarterbacks? Is it offensive schemes? Because on the other hand, you got a guy like Derek Carr that's throwing the ball all over the place, and he's not considered an elite quarterback.
Well, I'd like to see how many of these quarterbacks and wide receivers played, how much they played in the preseason.
That people just kind of warming up?
I think so. I mean, how many players were just like didn't even play in preseason?
You know what's hilarious is the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL through 2 weeks in passing touchdowns are from 4 to 1. Kyler Murray and Sam Darnold, they're tied at 4. And tied at the top with 5, Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr. That's your top 4. That's not what I think anyone had on their bingo card. Yet here we are. Now look, I think the thing will regress to the mean or whatever whatever that saying is nerds use, but it will. I don't think Derek Carr is going to lead the NFL in touchdowns, but stranger things have happened. Definitely down through the first 2 weeks. We'll see if there's a bounce back in week 3. Second down, please.
With both CMC and Debo likely out at least the next 2 games, how screwed are the Niners?
Not, well, again, we'll see, but I'm trying to give an answer here. Because we'll see is really the right answer, but that's boring. I don't think they're as screwed as they could be because they're playing at the Rams, home Patriots, home Cardinals over the next 3 weeks. Now, we talked earlier, then you go at Seahawks, home Chiefs, home Cowboys, at Bucks, home Seahawks, at Packers, maybe with Jordan Love back, at Bills. That's a tough stretch. But if you're going to have guys hurt, now is the time schedule-wise to have them hurt. They will be favored, and in some cases favored over a touchdown in all 3 of those games. So they should, I say should, quote, italics, underline, they should win those games. In fact, probably the lightest line they're going to have is this weekend where they go and play the 0-2 Rams without Cooper Kupp, without Puka Nacua, Aaron Donald retired. They are a full touchdown favorite down there, and what I'm sure will be a sea of red. Usually Niner fans take over that stadium. And I will say one caveat. I said they should be favored in all those next games and heavily. The one thing I will say is that depends on the Arizona Cardinals' performance over the next couple weeks. Because they went into Buffalo and they lost by 6, and they were winning most of that game. And some of that may have been they are learning how to win, but then they just absolutely trucked the Rams 41-10. I think it's going to be a real who the hell are the Cardinals this weekend against the Lions. Detroit struggling to start the season. They're going to be pissed off. And the Arizona Cardinals host them down in Glendale. We'll see how that result looks. But if Arizona comes out with a win against the Lions, they got the Commanders the next week. They go into that Niner game 3-1. They ain't going to be a touchdown spread. I can promise you that. Third down, please.
With the Bryce Young benching, does that make the Carolina-Chicago trade the worst in NFL history?
Well, the benchmark there, as we talked about earlier in the season, is going to be the Herschel Walker trade between the Cowboys and the Vikings, which is known as the worst deal. Just to remind you, the Bears got from Carolina DJ Moore, 2023 first-round pick and starting tackle Darnell Wright, 2023 second-round pick cornerback Tyreek Stevenson, Caleb Williams, who may or may not make the entire trade worth it. And by the way, they still have Carolina's second-round pick this year. And in return, they got Bryce Young, who was just benched 2 games into the season for Andy Dalton. Now, I got to say it, it's federally mandated. The jury is, the book is not closed on Bryce Young. The jury is not closed and the book is still out on Bryce Young. But the results have not been great so far. He is only 23 years old. He will not be 24 until July. And we've seen teams give up on guys too quick. But last year, in 16 games, he had 11 touchdowns and 10 picks. This year, no touchdowns, 3 picks. In 2 games, he's passed for 245 yards. He has been atrocious. Arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL. Well, him and Caleb Williams, amongst a couple others. Meanwhile, Gardner Minshew is second in the NFL in passing yards. So, yeah, right now, I would argue. Now, here's the thing. If Caleb Williams turns out to be a Pro Bowl quarterback, I do think it passes the Herschel Walker trade. However, the Herschel Walker trade was one of the linchpins in creating an absolute dynasty for the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll wait. 4th down, please.
Biggest surprise team so far this season.
This could be good or bad. This could be a good or a bad surprise. Look at the Steelers 2-0. Look at the Steelers at 2-0. It's real close. I'm going to go I want to give it to the Saints. I really do. But I'm actually going to go opposite, and I'm going to say the Baltimore Ravens being 0-2. With honorable mention to the Bengals. I did not have the Bengals and the Ravens with a healthy Joe Burrow and a healthy Lamar Jackson and adding Derrick Henry. I did not have them going a combined 0-4. I don't think anybody did. Not with the Patriots. No offense, Raiders on the schedule for half of those games. But here we are. They're 0-4. And I think there's a lot of people shocked. Very, very early, though. And a lot of one-on-one teams, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of parity in this league. But we're early. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not. We'll go streaking before we get to the Niners at 9. We'll talk about these injuries and more. And then the Kings jerseys as well. We'll do all that next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry. You never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to SACLegalDefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? with a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
It's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's...
Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. Friday, September 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. She's alive and unwell. Don't miss Nikki Glazer.
Thank you. Good night.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right. Let's figure it out. Who is hot?
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
In last night's game-winning drive, Kirk Cousins completed 80% of his passes, threw for more than 70 yards, and threw the game-winning touchdown. This is the first time in NFL history that a quarterback has thrown for those many yards, threw the game-winning touchdown, and 80% of his passes when needing a touchdown to win. Never happened in NFL history.
Really? When somebody says something never happened in NFL history, that actually means a thing. Actually means a thing because there's been a lot of NFL history. But in this case, you never know when you're going to see something new. Who's not?
Rookie quarterbacks. You were talking about the touchdowns being down. Well, rookies so far this season have thrown a combined 196 passes in the NFL without throwing a single touchdown pass.
Yeah.
That is the most consecutive pass attempts by rookies without a touchdown pass to begin a season in NFL history.
Makes you wonder if running backs are going to finally start getting more of a premium. If you're not throwing the ball well. By the way, these quarterbacks, dude, God, what is Brock Purdy going to? Oh my God, what are they going to have to pay him, dude? $60 million a year, 50. Can we get a hometown discount? Brock seems like a nice guy. Come on, Brock, 25 mil a year. You don't need more. How about 25 mil a year and the team donates X million, another 25 million a year to the charity of your choice? I feel like that's a salary cap violation, but it shouldn't be. Enjoy it now, Niners, because boy, oh boy, you're going to have to pay some bills, dude. Also with Brock too, no Debo, no Christian McCaffrey. And again, it's a stupid narrative, but the narrative on him from some is that you're a system quarterback surrounded by all these crazy weapons. Put him on an average team and he's an average quarterback. Well, look, you got an opportunity here. No Debo, no Christian McCaffrey. And let's be honest, right now, you don't want anybody to be hurt, of course, but if you told me I had to choose between Samuel or Brandon Ayuk being injured, I would have taken Ayuk. And of course, we'd have a whole different conversation about how his lack of preparedness caused the injury. By the way, let me be incredibly clear. I don't want Brandon Ayuk. I'd never wish injury on anybody, and they suck, and they should be outlawed. I'm saying Deebo Samuel has been more effective so far this year. So it's a bigger on-field issue for the Niners. But now you've got those two guys out. And on top of that, that means other guys are going to have to step up as well. There's going to be more likely double coverages. loading up the box on Mason. So, yeah, this is an opportunity against some teams that aren't that great for Brock Purdy to step up and maybe you'll never silence the critics, but at least mute them a little bit. Third down, please.
What?
Oh, sorry. I was talking about something, I think what happened there, and I was referencing an answer I gave in fourth down in my brain, or in 4 down territory in my brain, or I'm just, my brain is just absolutely decomposing in front of everybody. Let's go streaking, please.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking.
This is the difference between working with Chris and working with Jason Ross. Last week on this very show, I actually said a guy had passed away that didn't. And Jason knew I was wrong in the moment, yet let it go to the break before he asked me. I referenced the wrong segment. Chris, what?
Well, to be fair, you're asking me to play something. I'm just like,
no,
I don't know where we are right now.
It's exactly how you should have reacted. Are you stupid? Are you okay? And by the way, I don't think anybody in the history of the world has ever been asked, are they okay? And not immediately felt worse than they already did. Because now somebody else is noticing. That's never a good thing. Am I okay? No. All right. Who, what are we doing streak-wise, please?
Well, Dave, you're at 5. Jason, he is at 0. And unfortunately, I didn't catch who he picked yesterday, so we're not going to be able. Let's just give him. We can give him 1. We'll figure it out.
We'll give him a temporary 1.
I am at 3.
You are at 3.
And we might as well get yours out of the way right now because Francisco Lindor didn't play yesterday. He's injured. So you're still at 5.
Yeah.
I had Shohei Ohtani. Dodgers won 9-0.
Wow.
Shohei Ohtani up 4 times, 2 RBIs, and 0 hits.
You're kidding me. No. Wow.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. That's rough acting right there, dude. That is rough.
Yes, 9-0, and Ohtani was the one that didn't have a hit.
And can't get it together. Wow. All right. I guess I got to pick somebody, huh? I don't know who the hell to pick. I just want to pick Bobby Witt every single time. That's a guy who's come through. I'm not picking Aaron Judge. I'm not picking Luis Arias. Give me Vladdy Jr. Toronto's Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
And I've got to restart a streak.
Yeah,
you know who I'm going to have to go with. Jackson Holiday.
Ah, good.
Playing the Giants.
Well, I don't care, actually. I don't care who wins. But I do care if Jackson Holiday gets a hit. It's more fun. Even though it's kind of fun when he doesn't, because I like that version of the song too. But we'll take a break. When we return, ladies and gentlemen, injuries galore for your San Francisco 49ers, but the Rams might have it worse. We'll have some audio as well and talk about where they are in the standings, in the schedule, and why it might be the best time to have these injuries. Niners at 9 next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go? I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it. I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go? I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it. I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
A lot of new people in the chat. Thanks to MC and others for encouraging the thumbs up, if you would. One of our newer chatters both said in the chat and texted it to our text line at 916-339-1140. Talk about ex-King wing workouts. What? What does that even mean? Ex-King wing workouts? Or are we talking about some of the wings that the Kings are working out?
I guess that, yeah.
Nasir Little Well, Isaiah Thomas isn't a wing. Jay Crowder. But I would rather. You ever use one of them or see one of those tools where you take you get the stuff off an orange? What's that called? The zest. A zester. You know, that's like a cheese grater but smaller.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather scratch my eye with that than talk about. Look, I'm as much of a honk for the Kings as anybody. It's pretty simple. They're working out Jay Crowder, Isaiah Thomas, and Nasir Little. Isn't Nasir Little? No, I feel like it's not Nasir Little. It's somebody else. But what you got to, you look, I'm not trying to be a D-bag here, but what is there to talk about? They're going to work them out. They need a wing. They might be good. They might not be good. That's the conversation. We could talk about, we could imagine what it would be like if they were good. We could underscore the fact that the Kings need wing depth, especially at the 4. They're more like 4 depth. There's just not a good segment there.
Selfishly, I would love to see IT back with the Kings.
Same. I don't know what he has to offer.
Same.
But let's be honest. I think half of the attraction to having IT back would be the ovation he gets.
I would say just his work ethic, if that can rub off.
Yes. A hungry, not that he had a big ego, but obviously there's no ego there anymore. Like, he went from top of the pops to fighting his way in the league. And this is for a guy that's under 6 feet tall who's had to fight for it his whole life. So the problem is he's an elder statesman, if you will, which is crazy because I think at least most of us remember his draft. Going to start out Niners at 9 on a bad note here. And by on a bad note, I mean, am I not turned up here? Chris, do I have something that I need to turn down?
You're good.
I'm good. Okay, here we go.
2nd and 9 for the Vikings from their own 3. Darnold under center. Play action to Jones. Back to pass. Bosa picked up. Deep shot. Jefferson. Yes! Caught at the 50. Heads left to the 40. Cuts back to the 25. Heads to the right. He's trying to outrun the Niners. To the 5. Touchdown! A 97-yard touchdown from Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson. And your Minnesota Vikings have a 9-0 lead.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough start to the game, and a game that appeared closer than it probably should have been. And then we find out yesterday Deebo Samuel is out at least 2 games with a calf strain. It's a bad week 2 for the Niners. You already had the Christian McCaffrey news. He'll be out at least 2 more games. Just saying 2 more. He's already been out 2, but 4 games on that IR. Look, Fred Warner has been fantastic. Just arguably maybe the biggest standout player in the league this year. He's been phenomenal. I know it doesn't, sell newspapers. Jake Moody has been fantastic. Is absolutely justified how high they picked him, especially this year. Brock Purdy I don't think he's been good or bad. I think he's just been kind of average so far this year. And Jordan Mason's a revelation. Backing up Christian McCaffrey. Hell, it could be a lot worse if that wouldn't work. And don't mistake, look, Nick Bosa is averaging a sack a game. That's great. But quarterbacks are getting way too comfortable on the Niners. Way too comfortable on the Niners. So there is good news that we'll try to find in the rain clouds. Number 1, it's a good time of year to have, if you're going to pick a time of year to have injuries to 2 of your best players, now is the time, simply because of the schedule and the amount of season left. Now, I'm not under the assumption that either Deebo or Christian McCaffrey will return after the next 2 games, but they've got the Rams, Patriots, and Cardinals, 2 of which are at home, and the Niners are favored by 7 going into this weekend at LA. With apologies to the Cardinals, who have actually looked pretty good through 2. The Patriots looks like Gerard Mayo has this team at least playing and playing hard. This is a stretch where the Niners should be relative favorites in all three. Now, remember, they were favored, I think, by 6 against Minnesota, so that doesn't mean everything. If you're going to have it happen, though, have it happen now so that you can hopefully be ready for that Seahawks, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers, Bills 7-gamer there. And the other piece, if you want to call it good news, is that their opponent this weekend is, I think, dollar for dollar more banged up. Now, listen, I'll take Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel over Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua any day of the week and twice on Sunday. So would anybody else. But that's not the issue. It's the depth or lack thereof on LA and depth of talent specifically. Matthew Stafford is great. Kyron Williams looks great. But now you're going to roll out likely Jordan Whittington, Demarcus Robinson, and Tyler Johnson. That defense is already struggling. I mean, the Rams defense without Aaron Donald is just, you want to see how much of a difference one player can make. And this was my worry over the summer more than anything else. The Rams have given up 67 points in 2 games. That's 33.5 a game. And I don't think that's going to get any better. Because you look at Aaron Donald's numbers last year, and they're fine. They're great numbers. But what Aaron Donald did for that defense is he was a vacuum. You had to double Aaron Donald, just period, every play, at least double Aaron Donald. You had to do entire schemes around Aaron Donald. And that's not there anymore. So now all of a sudden, that offensive line the Rams face is freed up to do a bunch of different stuff. Now, Jared Verse is going to be a great linebacker in this league. Don't get me wrong. They got a couple pieces on defense. But Jared Verse ain't Aaron Donald. Not just, different position. But he ain't Aaron Donald as far as being a vacuum. That's not the case. So I think in this case, the Niners, as weird as this sounds, they can afford to miss Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. 2 guys, McCaffrey's arguably the number 1 running back in the league, and Deebo Samuel is arguably a top 10 receiver in the league. They can afford to miss those guys a lot more than the Rams can afford to lose Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Also, that being said, it is the Sean McVay offense. So I do expect them to have some sort of potency in the passing game. Oh, excuse me. No, I got it here. There we go. Sorry. Also need to see a little bit more from the Niners special teams, who have not been great through 2 weeks. Here's Brock Purdy on his takeaways from the loss.
Just because you got, really good players and good scheme doesn't mean the other team's going to give it to you. You have to go out and earn it. So we've had to learn that, the first 2 games of the season. So hopefully we can be better next week.
Super insightful answer. Here's Kyle Shanahan on Christian McCaffrey.
Nobody knows. We're dealing with tendonitis, so there's not one person knows. He doesn't know. We don't know. We take it day by day. By putting him on IR, it's at least 4 weeks. So that'll give him some time to rest and kind of protect him from himself, us too. And no matter how he's feeling, it's 4 at the minimum.
Finally, as we played to start the show, Adam Schefter talking about Deebo's injury.
Well, it's bad news for the San Francisco 49ers. It continues to pile up. They've already lost Christian McCaffrey to the injured reserve list, and now Deebo Samuel is going to miss likely a couple of weeks, according to Kyle Shanahan, due to a calf strain. So that means no Deebo and no Christian McCaffrey.
Yep, there you go. So that's it. We'll have Emil Fragoso on tomorrow to talk about it. But really that's tough. That is a tough situation for the 49ers to be in. But they are playing against the Rams. But I think, honestly, there would have been some. I think there would have been some people that had this happened against the Jets. I think they would have said, well, at least you're going into Minnesota. And yeah, I know they have a bad record there, but blah, blah, blah in Minnesota. And look what happened. So the Niners have their work cut out for them, no doubt about it. But it is the right time of the year to have it happen. And Kyle Shanahan's going to have to do some creatives too. And we'll see all of that. Remember, you can hear this game and all the games right here on Sacktown Sports, your home of the San Francisco 49ers. We'll take a break. It was a sight for sore eyes, if you will, yesterday when the Kings released the commercial for their, I don't know what the hell they're calling them, alternate jerseys, City Connect, statement. I don't know. I guess I should probably read the press release, but let's talk about these throwback purples and what you think of when you see these purple jerseys. What is the first thing that comes to mind? We'll talk about it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Did I hear this song playing yesterday? I know I did.
Are you being serious?
I swear to God I am.
Yeah, the commercial for bringing the jerseys back. Doug and
you know what? I wonder, because I want to say I heard it in the car.
I think I remember you telling us the other day that you heard it.
Yeah, I heard this. I don't know why this. And I keep thinking it's not the Welcome Back Kotter theme, is it?
Yeah.
It is? Yeah, that's where I'm hearing it. Anyways, welcome back. Revealed on 916 Day. The 40th season of Sacramento Kings basketball has your what is it called? Classic Edition uniforms. And Mike Bibby allegedly accidentally leaked them earlier this month, I think. But the commercial was fantastic, and I want to shout out. I don't know who it was, but whoever is the team behind putting the commercial together, the creative team.
That's an amazing idea.
It really, really, really was. Just the whole concept, which is Doug Christie putting on the jersey, and then Mike Bibby shows them. They're in the front yard shooting hoops. It's kind of reliving old times and having fun. And then you see Doug's wife there like, what are you guys doing? And the music, the song's perfect for, kind of sets the mood. Now, I'm not jersey guy. Like, I don't care, just win games. And also just don't wear embarrassing jerseys.
Yes.
Like the red jerseys were embarrassing. The gold jerseys were embarrassing. And whatever this underground thing that 4 people are trying to do to bring back the gold jerseys just needs to stop and get killed in the heart.
Do you think that they could ever do a play off of it?
The gold jerseys?
Yes. Like not look like it, but like use like maybe the color type of scheme and make it to you think it would work.
The problem is that you either go with that gold or, purple and yellow is the Lakers.
Yeah.
So you're kind of hamstrung there. I don't hate the concept of gold and royalty and all that, but purple is the royalty color, not gold. I don't know if I'm trying to think of different shades of gold. I just stay the hell away from it. And the red jerseys, please.
I think what also hurt the gold jerseys is that's right when it started to go down.
Well, there's no doubt if you took those gold jerseys and they were worn during the 2002 era, there'd be a ton of nostalgia for that. Which is part of, by the way, these. The first thing I think of when I see these jerseys is I think of Doug Christie uppercutting Rick Fox.
Yes.
Okay. But also the second thing I probably think of is Brad Miller. I don't know why.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's the second thing that pops into my head. By the way, Brad's local too. They got to get him in a commercial. Well, I don't know. Maybe
they might have asked him. I'm fishing.
Yeah, I'm fishing. I'm hunting. I just killed a big moose or whatever the hell he does.
I'm three beers deep. I can't go.
Also, and I say this with love, I don't know. Maybe Brad doesn't look as good as Doug and Mike in those jerseys right now. not that he's fat. I just think he's enjoyed himself. Whereas Mike Bibby,
oh man, he looks like he's slimmed down.
I was just gonna say that he actually looks like he's slimmed down. Yet he still has to register his biceps with the feds. That is insane. And of course, Doug looks like. Here's the crazy thing about Doug, and I get that some of this is just, I think some people genetically, like I've got friends, it's just like, you don't age. What do you do? And it's just who they are. And you look at their parents, they didn't age. But Doug also is notoriously very, very healthy. He looks like, if you look at Doug there and you do it side by side with like a picture of Doug in 03-04, it's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Especially
if you go to like 2000, you can tell the difference.
Well, didn't he have hair there though? Yeah, exactly. I'm old enough to remember when Doug had that nice head of hair. It was like kind of long and curly on the top and came forward. Also, I like to see Mike Bibby bring back. Mike Bibby had the most trimmed beard I've ever seen in my life. Just perfect. He had the line that came down the chin strap thing. And now he's just clean. They both look great. And those uniforms look fantastic as well. And I'm really happy. Look, the history of the Sacramento Kings for the most part sucks. Let's just be honest. But you got to sell. It's our history, good or bad. It's our history, and you don't hide from it. Now, I don't just think you celebrate the 02 year and the great stuff. Dude, celebrate. I would imagine maybe I wouldn't, because last year was the 10th anniversary of them staying. And I don't think there was much done there. What is it? Is it 2 years? Is it 2 years, the 10th anniversary of Golden One Center?
Or is it next year?
Or is it
2015?
God, is that it? And I imagine that will certainly be celebrated. That will certainly be celebrated largely. Broke ground September 30th, 2016.
Okay.
So yeah. For $558 million is what they built that thing for, which would be $709 million in today's money.
You ever look that up with Arco? It's built for $5 million, $25 million in today's dollars.
Oh my God. For real. Yeah, Arco Arena, and I mean this in no disrespect to those who built it. They got it done. It was a miracle. Construction cost in today's dollars, $40 million.
That's wild.
And by the way, that's
like a high school gym now. Like a really nice, like Rockland area basketball gym.
That was for the second one.
Yes.
The first one, construction cost $12 million. Jesus.
Did you ever go to the first one?
Yeah. Yeah, that was where I saw my first Kings game. I saw the Kings. Yeah, how's this for a first Kings game? I saw the Kings and Celtics, where Larry Bird missed 2 free throws.
That game.
Yeah, it was that game. And then I won. But that was, I don't think that was the first event I went to. It's so long ago. I'm mixing it up. But no, that was because I was doing I was a paper boy for the B. So that means I was 12. And I would fold the papers would get delivered at 4 a.m. in stacks, flat stacks, and I'd have to cut the little yellow wrappy thing off, and then you've got a whole bag of rubber bands. And so I'd sit on my front stoop and I would fold all the papers and rubber band them into a pile. And then you have this white and orange canvas B bag that you would put, it goes across your bicycle seat, and you load the papers up in there. You have to put clear plastic on them if it's raining, Chris. But you load the papers up in there, your hands are just black with ink. And I would write off and deliver papers in Carmichael. And that's where, like, I had a knockoff Walkman cassette thingy in my pocket with little headphones that I'd wear. And that's why I know things like Van Halen's 5150, NXS Kick, I think Depeche Mode Violator. I could be wrong. Like there's like 5 U2 Rattle and Hum. I had like 5 cassette tapes. That's all I could afford, because back then you could do BMG. Old people remember this, where you could get 12 cassettes for the price of 1. So you order all your cassettes and then you got to buy the one that they send you. You're forced to do it. They don't even care. All my stuff was like rock music with like, I think the other 2 was like MC Hammer, the one with Turn This Mother Out, whatever that, and Too Short, Life Is Too Short. So I had all rock and 2 rap cassettes in there. And the cassette they sent me, the album they sent me to buy was Juice Newton, who's famous for songs like Queen of Hearts, Angel of the Morning. You have any idea who I'm talking about? Country artist, basically.
Juice Newton is a country singer.
Juice Newton is a country singer. I'm guessing you probably know 1, if not 2 of her songs.
Juice Newton is a woman country singer.
Juice Newton, I believe, is, by the way. I think Juice is I believe Juice is still with us. I think you might know this song because it's let me fast forward. It's been used to boost.
Take a step, or it was
on Juice. There we go.
No, I know the song. There's a very funny there's a funny family story with this song.
Like your family?
Yes. This just tells you how long ago it was my mom and dad having an argument. It wasn't like that. The song came on, and when she says, kiss my cheek before you leave.
Yes.
He thought she was saying, toss my jeans before you leave. And my mom's like, what? And he was adamant, like it's toss my jeans. And so this is before you could go online and look up lyrics and stuff. They called the radio station that just played the song and said, what are the lyrics to the song? And my mom was proven right. And she's told that story all the time since then.
Just toss my jeans. Just toss my jeans before you. Okay. And then as we go to break, you might know this one.
Yes.
Yes. Those are Juice's 2 big hits. And so I'd be riding around delivering papers listening to Juice Newton. And I would listen to FM 102 while I was folding papers. Here's the point of the story that I just went in a huge circle for. I would have my dad's little Emerson boom box, and I would listen to music to the radio while I was folding papers. And I was the 12th caller to, I think it was Marcus Allen in the morning on FM 102. And I got a pair of tickets to go see Tony Lopez versus Juan John Molina at the original Arco. And shout out to Mark, who had no control over those tickets in FM 102. I believe the tickets were section 227, row Q. But man, it was my first experience with the leg lamp in A Christmas Story feeling, where it's like, I don't care, Dad, we have to go. I won these. They're free. We have to go. Turned out it was a good time. The old barn was actually a fun place.
My family, like my uncles and their cousins, always talk about Tony Lopez at Arco. And just how it's like insane.
Oh, dude. Like, look, Faber's California Love entrances are the best I've ever seen. But once upon a time, there was a guy named Tony Lopez, friend of the show, Tony Lopez. Not a good golfer, but a lovable guy. And he fought Rocky Lockridge for the title on CBS Sunday Boxing, live from Arco Arena. And at that time, it was probably the biggest sporting event to ever hit Sacramento. It was insane. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch? And then we'll get into crosstalk with Styles and Watkins right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to sacklegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason
one
Ross.
person
Call or
delivers
text
the
at
results.
916-339-1140.
Our Congressman Kevin Kiley,
on Sacktown
working across
Sports.
party lines, Kevin Kiley has helped pass bipartisan bills to lower prices for gas, groceries, and utilities, provide tax relief for the victims of recent wildfires and storms, and to protect Lake Tahoe today and for future generations. Kiley has secured millions of federal dollars to ease traffic on our roads, expand our water supply, and protect our homes and communities from wildfires. And because he believes public safety comes first, Kevin Kiley is working to crack down on repeat offenders, retail thieves, and fentanyl dealers who prey on our youth. Kevin Kiley is always ready to work across party lines to get things done, and never afraid to take on the establishment in Washington or Sacramento when that's what's needed to protect our quality of life. Delivering results. That's Kevin Kiley. Let's keep him working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley, and I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on, and the deals are legendary. Get $2,000 cash back on any 2024 Tundra, or get a great lease on a new 2024 Tacoma 4x4. Get to your Toyota dealer now, because this truck event is gonna be Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Ends 9/30/24.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmichael.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
It's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's...
Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. Friday, September 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. She's alive and unwell. Don't miss Nikki Glazer.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know? It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, what to watch tonight? I don't know. I mean, really, what to watch tonight? Baseball? It's kind of a depressing night. Giants with an
Champions League starts today.
Oh, does it? Are you guys playing?
Tomorrow.
Giants Orioles. That's a 3:35 first pitch. Blake Snell on the mound for them. The A's are still in Chicago taking on the Cubbies. Lost today. That's at 4:40. There's just Yankees at Mariners. Woof. Yeah. Huddersfield Academy currently up 1-0 on Chesterfield. That's going on as we speak. Chris, your thoughts?
Chesterfield.
I
think, was that his name in Ladybugs?
That I do not know. That I do not remember. Yes, there's a full Champions League lineup. Honestly, that attracts me. I was watching. This is how lame this job is now for me. I was avoiding my nap, staying up yesterday. Monday naps are always a requirement. I damn near have to nap on a Monday because I have not caught up on sleep whatsoever. And but here I am on the Paramount Plus network watching Birmingham host Wrexham in the I'm watching League One soccer, third tier English soccer, not involving the team I work for, involving Wrexham. You guys may have seen the Welcome to Wrexham doc. That's Ryan Reynolds, and he was not there, but Rob McElhenney of Always Sunny in Philadelphia was. And then Tom Brady and David Beckham sitting next to each other on the Birmingham side as the Americans have invaded soccer over there. And we're in the same league as both of them, Huddersfield Town is. So, and we have an American owner, our own Kevin Nagel, but you've got, Tom Brady and David Beckham here. You have McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds there on both sides. And God, I hope we beat the hell out of them. We won't. Birmingham has a Premier League style striker level striker that they have now. And it got chippy at the end. There were some fisticuffs, but handicuffs.
Did you happen to see Tom Brady walking by the
and being serenaded?
Welcomed in?
Who the blank are you? Yeah. Welcome to that. I think I'm going back late next month when it gets a little cooled down there, if you will. Now, a little too cold. And that is one of the things in England I've noticed quite a bit is I will be over there I was there, I think I was in early December. I've got a parka, gloves, a scarf, a beanie, and I'm cold. Like the wind pierces over there. And I look around, it's like a Friday night in Leeds where it's a very happening, hot little downtown area. And I'm looking at these 20, 30 somethings, mostly the women, by the way, going to wherever they're going. They're in skirts, short sleeves, tank tops. They're in like summer clothing. And it's truly one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in person. I understand you acclimate. I get it. I understand that. I don't know how you acclimate that much. It's 35 degrees and probably mid-20s, whatever the hell that is in Celsius, 0-ish. And they're fine. And I also understand that alcohol can tend to be a jacket in itself.
Now you know why they freak out when it's 78 degrees.
They have actual warnings. Weather warning at 78 degrees. Look out. Yeah, I'm good on that weather, dude. So what to watch tonight? I don't know. I wish I could watch Ben Simmons workouts. See if that's for real. Everyone's saying he's in shape. Looking good. Seems healthy. Comeback player of the year, Ben Simmons.
Got to pencil him in already.
Pencil him in already. When we come back, Crosstalks, quick break. Crosstalk Styles, Watkins, celebrity birthday. Do I want a break or do I want to? I'm sorry. Why did I think we only had a minute in this break?
I don't know.
That's my fault. I do apologize. No, we don't have to break here. Which gives me time to do this. I wanted to play this yesterday. Didn't have the opportunity because we were too up against it. I want to play this Teddy Bruschi highlights. This is Teddy Bruschi on Tua Tagovailoa. Teddy, of course, going through a stroke himself, having health issues himself. Here he is talking about Tua.
I had a stroke when I was 31 years old. It was 3 days after I played in the Pro Bowl and after we had won our third championship. And I think the lasting image of everyone of me was me running on the field with my kids. And so a lot of people had a lot of opinions in terms of whether you come back to play in a sport where you bang heads with 300-pound men after you've had a stroke. So that's the mental side of it that I had to go through, a lot that Tua's going through. You see as many doctors as you possibly can. Okay, he's being supported within the organization. I understand that. But what doctors will give you is gray. Okay, and they will not give you black and white. I have personal experience from this, and Alex, I'm sure you do too, because it's like, listen, I had a device put in my heart. It's like, okay, when I get blindsided, will the device move at all? It shouldn't. Chances are slim. But they tell you, they give you all this information, and here's it all. But what they eventually say is it's something you have to live with. You have to live with the decision that you decide to come back after whichever injury that you have. In my case, it was a stroke. Can you live with it? Can your wife and family live with it? Which is a whole different dynamic where you can go through a whole nother show about what it went to try to convince my wife to let me play football again. So should he retire or should he play? I did both, okay? Because when I had my stroke, I could not see in the left field vision of both of my eyes. I was blind here. I could not see. To me, I was done. I went into Bill Belichick's office and told him I was finished, and I left. I had finished, but you get better. And I'm sure Tua's going through these same thoughts also that, you have the multiple concussions, but you get better and you feel fine. And the other thing you think about is this: I can't go out like that. Yeah. I just can't go out like that. I can't finish like that, because to all of us, how we finish our careers is so important, especially when you get into 7th, 8th, 9th years and you've been in the league and you know what it's like and you've seen all these great players and all their careers ending. You have your own ending up here in your mind. Tua still wants to win and he still wants to have a career, and I would support him if he wanted to come back.
I will admit two things. Number one, Teddy Bruschi's from Roseville, and any interactions I've had with Teddy or people around him have been incredible. Number two, Teddy Bruschi played the game of football at an incredibly high rate and is discussing things that I think only a professional athlete could understand. I want to admit both of those, because those are two things I think need to be contextualized when I say that. I listened to him say that and was just like, really, dude? I get a lot of that. And admittedly, some I don't. I've never played for the Patriots or Dolphins. Health is life. Teddy, you did that, and it worked, and God bless you. I don't know, dude. We've seen so much. I think Junior Seau still bothers me and will always bother me. And there's been many other CTE candidates, but Junior Seau is the one that really, really got me. And I don't know. Are there reasons for Tua Tagovailoa to come back? Sure. It just seems like there's a lot more against it. But not everybody's going to have the same priorities, and I respect that. I do. I wouldn't. But that's also probably a big reason why I'm not a professional athlete. Hopefully he makes the right decision for him and his family. That's all I'm saying. From the 408, what's with the soccer talk? I thought this was an American sports show. Sir, man, you did not get the reference. This is actually an English talk show now with bits of American sports.
Been like that for a bit.
Been like that for a long time. You didn't get the memo. We had an announcement, a press release, and everything. We'll take a break. When we come back, Crosstalk, celebrity birthdays, all coming up after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
The last 6 Sacramento Rivercats games of the 25th anniversary season are packed with promotions and theme nights. Join us for Hispanic Heritage Night on September 17th, the Rivercats Golfer Hat Giveaway on September 20th, our inaugural Harry Potter Night on September 21st, and cap off the homestand with Fan Appreciation Day for the final game of the season on Sunday, September 22nd. Make your way to the ballpark for a farewell to the Rivercats of 2024. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets today.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's majestic golden eagles and other less majestic birds taunting you through the baseball-sized hole in your new windows. It's soaring guitar solos performed through faulty wiring in your garage, which subsequently erupts into flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
All right. We're on the air. Everybody shape up. One of my favorite things, and this isn't a shot at Chris because Chris is management. No, it's not. He's management. I get it. It does always amuse me, though, and has throughout the years. We've been owned, I think, by 3 or 4 different companies since I've been here. CBS, Infinity. Oh, no, 3. But like whenever anybody, and I guess we've got the big wig.
That's what I hear.
By the way, how did that come about? Why is it being called a big wig? Is that like one of them British wig things?
You might be onto something.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah.
What's crazy is they still, with the judges and lawyers, they still wear the wigs.
It's crazy. Really? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, like in the House of Lords and stuff, Parliament, they've all George Washington.
But if it were me, I'd say, can I wear an afro?
Yeah.
Why do I have to? Because I was watching on one of the streaming, and it was this day and age, and like Ralad said, I was kind of confused, and there was a judge that looked like me, and they had them in some ridiculous wig.
What do you mean, like muscular and in shape?
Tan.
Oh, I got it. Oh, all right.
Melanated.
It's always like throws you because like, oh, they're talking about like a car accident that happened and this, and they're all wearing wigs.
Right. And they all look, they're all like these George Washington wigs. It's like, what do you have like one of the mannequin heads at home?
Yeah.
Do you have multiple wigs? Do you have to get the wig like done?
Yes. In the show, they kept the wigs in their lockers. Yeah.
So look, I'm just gonna be really
Chris,
honest.
look at what he searched.
I'm just gonna be really honest here. I Googled African American British parliamentarians just to see like,
yeah, those don't exist.
They literally like
nobody wants that job to wear the wigs.
They don't exist.
They want.
Oh wait, whoa, here we go.
See, look at that.
Okay, here we go. What?
Come on.
And what even those are
they like
wigs?
They gave them like a little shag, you know, and then they were like just straight ramen down the side.
What even?
That looks like the scratch post for my cats. Come on,
there you
man.
go. Those are little mini
That's
bros.
crazy.
These are that's just at some point.
There's more. Now you've unlocked. There's more.
Those are more like pharaoh caps.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
It's also strange because you could tell some of them's like, this is a big part of our tradition, and I need to make sure that it's up to snuff, and I look very good in my wig. And others, you could just tell, I just slap whatever on.
Throwing it on.
That's crazy.
Like it made, and I will. So when we were when I was over there, there was this dude that in England. There was this dude that showed up at a function in Huddersfield, and he had. I know we were just. I swear to God, I'm being honest. He had these chains with like medals and stuff Xing across the front of his chest into like a necklace. And I finally asked him, who is that? And they go, oh, that's like, looked at me like I was stupid. You go, that's the mayor. Because apparently over there, you look it up. I believe it's called the chains of office. That you put on, and they're ceremonial.
He had no shirt on underneath?
No, he had a suit.
It's on a Rough Riders video or something.
It was like Conan rolling in. But yeah, just they wear these ceremony. Everything's all ceremony.
Yeah. Hey, and respectfully, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, unrespectfully, I'm not wearing that either. Yeah. Like, no, and is it like a law, a rule? I guess you got to think at some point someone's like, I ain't doing it.
If I wore that as a Halloween costume, people would think it wasn't. I wasn't actually wearing what people actually wear.
I think you for Halloween this year. You should go as a British parliamentarian.
Yes, and people will say you look ridiculous. I say, well, that's actually how they.
I'm
actually the most unique, the most spot on.
I'm looking at these chains of the mayors that they're wearing, and it looks seriously like Indiana Jones is coming after them.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's so weird, but it's like a Superman's honor. You got to put on your chain in the morning, and hello, and pip pip and cheerio, and blah 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 blah. It's like,
beans.
Come on, bro.
Good morning.
Was it called a livery collar?
Oh, that's like
dude.
That's like some Flavor Flav would.
No, that's lit though.
That's lit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. The most hip guy.
I'd rock those.
You'd rock these?
Oh yeah.
They're blinged out.
Yeah.
It's what's going on.
It's Kirko chains right there.
Huh.
Celebrity birthdays are brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Rumor has it there will be a Crumble Cookie appearance.
Let's go.
Not this week.
Oh.
Looking forward to seeing Crumble Chris, his wares. Birthdays are meant to be spent with nothing brings family and friends together more than Crumble Cookies. Chris Rillot.
Happy birthday today to Patrick Mahomes.
That's an interesting one. Is he 3-0 yet?
No.
Yeah. 29.
I'm going to say 28.
Say 29.
Hold on a second. Oh, God. No, he is. Nope, I'm changing my answer. He is 30.
So 30, 229s? We have a correct answer.
30.
And it's a good thing that you did change that number, Dave.
Yeah, it's just remember the draft.
Because you're wrong.
Yeah. You guys.
Chris and Alan are right.
You have to let him finish.
He is 29 years old today.
I most certainly do not, Chris.
Happy birthday to comedian, podcaster Bobby Lee.
Ooh.
I can't watch that show, dude. I can't because I feel so guilty about laughing, and I don't.
It seems to be his his jam right now.
Probably should have saved this for what is it? Is it 2 Truths and a Lie or 2 Lies and the Truth? Is this one a good one? I have seen Bobby Lee naked.
I'm trying to remember the story. I think I remember the story.
Yeah, I've seen it all, dude. He was in with God, it was either me and Don or me and Keith, and he just took off all his clothes and was parading around the old studios. Yeah, he's I'm gonna say he's 46.
Not all at once, guys.
4.
47.
Wow, we're all there.
Not even in the right decade.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Bobby Lee is 53 today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Bill Jackson.
Ooh, here we go. I think this might be a mid one for Philly. He's not 80. I'll say he's 78.
72.
I'll say 82.
Carmichael Dave, you are the closest. 79 today.
Wow.
Happy birthday to Alexander Ovechkin.
Ooh, this is a good one. I think he was like 18 or 19 when he came into the league. Oh, wow. It's like that got loud, huh? I'm going to say Alex Ovechkin is 33.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
He does look older.
He does.
35.
That's just all the hockey wear and tear.
I'm going to say 39.
You have a correct answer. Chris Watkins.
Yeah, I'm
39 years old.
He's 30.
All right, one more quickly. Rasheed Wallace. How old is Rasheed Wallace?
Rasheed.
And that thing is still the same size on his head. What would you call that?
What are you talking about?
Rasheed Wallace, the bald thing.
Birthmark?
You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Rasheed Wallace always had
a bald patch.
for like his whole life. Like at North Carolina, he had.
Unfamiliar. You always wear.
All right, Rasheed Wallace is. I'm gonna say Rasheed's 53.
He's not that old. He's 51.
46.
Alan is the closest. He is 50 years old today.
Told you.
Oh wow! All right, so for all look, dude.
Yeah,
always had that. Oh wow!
Always had that.
Yeah.
I'm thrown that you guys don't know that.
That's
no,
what I'm
I did.
saying,
I just didn't know
especially-
if I didn't think it was. I thought it was more than a.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
I had no idea.
All right, so for Christopher Lod, for Juice Newton, and everybody else who joined us, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Styles and Watkins are next. My wife's favorite show right here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.